Welcome back, people. Happy Halloween. It is season 4 of the Taxi Squad podcast, episode 44. It's the day of fours. We got a fair amount to get into today. Some strange and unusual topics. Very strange because it is, in fact, spooky season. And then not only that, we got some NCAA breakdowns. Vince's Notre Dame squad finally in the top 10. We do have some World Series talk to break down for you, potentially a new sponsor, NBA talk, an air it out session with a very close friend of the podcast, and of course, our NFL picks. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. They talk about sports and stupid stuff. They're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back, it's the Taxi Squad, yeah.
Vince, happy Halloweeny. How you doing?
Let me put some spooky ambiance on right now. Creepy little ghouls and ghosts. I'm doing okay. I'm feeling spooky on this Halloween. I'm also feeling depressed because of the Bears. And I'm also feeling apathetic about the White Sox hiring a new manager. Thank you, everybody. There goes the ambiance. How you doing,
That
bud?
was actually quite fitting, Vince. Vince,
Yeah.
I'm great. Today is a good day. Who's got it better than us?
Absolutely nobody.
Isn't it wonderful? We're wonderful
is.
to be back. It's a lovely day in the world today. Vince, are you excited about this countdown right now? Do you want to explain it? Should I explain it?
Yeah, so in T-minus just about 24 hours from now, I will be jet setting to Arizona
Let's
to
go.
to Scottsdale / Phoenix, Arizona to visit my friend Michael on essentially the West Coast. And I'm very excited. I'm excited to see you.
Too,
Hopefully
man.
we can bring some luck to our teams this week because God knows we're going to need them.
Yeah, we're gonna need him. There's no doubt about it. And not only is Vince coming to town, but the Bears are coming to town, and you're gonna get a
True.
full breakdown of that. And you may get a live breakdown of that. Be careful. We're about to have the time of our lives.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a riot. Get ready for some lovely content that we may or may not be in it for. It's gonna be a good time. But Vince, how are things going for you today? What's
Things
new
are all
in your
right.
world?
We're not going to talk about it in length, but White Sox got a new manager, Mr. Will
Ooh.
Venable. He used to play. I used to remember playing with him on MLB The Show. Not a crazy hire, decent hire, surprisingly better than I thought. We'll get to the Bears being horrible this weekend, but that really broke my heart. But two things happened this weekend that really made me happy. That was Notre Dame, and that was Jameis Winston. So, out of all things considered, I'm doing okay, buddy. I'm doing okay.
It was a hell of a heartbreak weekend, right? And
Yeah.
in the words of John Mayer, it could have been a warfare, but it was truly one of those things where you just look at it and you throw your hands up in the air.
Jesus. Jesus, dude. Oh my
You can't
God.
stop.
Oh my God.
Where
I'm
did-
sorry.
If you're driving in your car right now, forgive Vince and I both because that crow is coming for you. Happy Halloween, everybody. By
Don't
the way.
crash. Don't
It is
crash.
going to be a lovely episode we have ahead of you. First and foremost, if you haven't yet, subscribe,
Please.
follow, share it, do all the things. Happy Halloween. We got some strange and unusual topics. Before we do that, we'd like to give a shout out to Nolan Krinsky. Not
Yes,
necessarily
man.
strange and unusual, but this was the heartfelt piece of strange and unusual last week after a week of pure chaos.
Yeah.
And then it's come to fruition that this young man is not going to be a part of the Sun Devils football team. And I'm a little sad about it.
Unfortunately, he said he had a good showing. He said he's not giving up. He said he's getting back after it. But no, what a good story. I follow him
Yeah.
on Twitter forever now. I'm hoping for only good things. He liked my reply. I said, great story. Keep going. He liked my reply. We're friends now. So I'll take it.
Keep going, kid. If you're listening to this podcast, we support you. Did you
God
like it on the
bless ya.
pod? Did you like it on the pod, Vince? Did you like it on the pod Twitter?
I didn't. I have to now. I will do
Dude,
that as well. I'm sorry.
snoozing at the wheel over here.
Personal. Personal.
Oh,
Personal. Person to person here. I'm a Nolan
he's a
guy. I'm
personal
a
guy.
devout Nolan guy. We know this,
He's
dude.
got a poster of him on his wall.
Come on now.
But Vince, you have some other strange and unusual
Yeah,
topics that
man.
we need to discuss this week. Is there one that kind of sticks out? I mean,
Um,
it is Halloween.
let's go over this one first. If you're watching on YouTube, this might be a jump scare, so please watch out.
It's
Be
spooky season.
careful. Be careful. And here it is.
Ah,
Dwayne, yeah, Jesus. Dwayne Wade
Jesus.
got a statue outside of American Airlines, I believe it's called.
Oh,
First statue in Miami, and
wait.
God, it's bad.
Wasn't it supposed to be Bang Bros Arena for the longest time? Bang
That
Bros.
was
This was like one of the first strange and unusual topics we'd ever discussed.
yeah.
At the stadium in Miami, before they got bought out by American Airlines, where it was about to be the Bang Bros Arena.
Yeah,
And
I think they did give a big bid, but I think it automatically got denied. That was the
of
problem.
course,
Yeah.
but I don't know what's worse: the stadium potentially being named Bang Bros Arena, or this statue.
Yeah, this is it's really bad. I was
Horrible.
listening to All the Smoke today with Matt Barnes, and he was like, all you gotta do is chop the head off and keep the body, and it's accurate. So when they showed it to everybody, Dwayne Wade was like, you could tell he was kind of like, okay, this is cool, but like, what the fuck is that? I then come to find out that he knows what it's going to look like. He was talking to the artist that did it. You spent a lot of time on that artist. Good for you. Not very good. Not good at all. He looks like an angry white man yelling at clouds, not like Dwayne Wade yelling at an arena full of people. That's kind of
I don't
my
know
take on it.
about all that. He kind of looks like the guy from Lord of War, right? He kind of looks
Sounds
like
like some
that
nerd
guy.
shit, Mike.
Yeah, it's a good Nicolas Cage film. Also, the
Okay.
guy, he was also in the MCU for a while. He was one
Michael
of those-
Collins uterus.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he kind of looks like
Wait,
that.
hold on. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Kind of looks like
you.
that, and also just a very scary version of that. Happy Halloween. Now,
Yeah.
what is it with the 2000s as a whole, and then now
Ooh.
into the 2010s and 2020s? Because welcome to the 2020s.
Yeah.
What
In
is
general?
it with this entire past 25 years of terrible statues?
Yeah.
Because it happened to Ronaldo, right?
Yep. Happened to David Beckham.
Happened
It
to David
happened
Beckham.
to Allen Iverson's little tiny baby statue. You remember that one? They gave him one, and
Yes.
it was a little pipsqueak in Philadelphia. How about the Sean Taylor statue in Washington that was just a mannequin? Remember when they called that a statue? I don't like.
Yeah.
Someone's got to call up Julius Caesar and his
to
guys and say, "Hey, how do we get back to making good statues? Because these are bad. These are really
How-
bad. This is bad.
How many grease balls do we got to put in the room to figure out fucking making
Yeah.
statues anymore?
There's not enough how
They-
you doing. There's too
There's-
much. I'm gonna make you look beautiful, sweetheart. I need enough. I need more of this stuff. I need more of. I'm gonna
need
fucking
some of
click,
this.
click. Oh, give me the fucking hammer and the chisel. What are you doing? He's like, Papa. He's done. It's David. He has small balls. It's
Look.
great.
Look, I gave him a nice bush. What?
Hey, fucking hygiene was different back then.
what-
He would have done
it
a
was-
hell of a lot better job with Dwayne Wade here. Dwayne Wade, goofy, bad,
But
goofy
truly,
and bad.
we reached the 2000th century, and here we go with this shit.
Yeah, man.
21st century, boom, can't make statues anymore. It was like the thing we could hang
Well-
our hat on as a civilization, and now we've completely lost it.
Well, think about it. There was devoted people that used to do that. And now, like, I don't know how often statue makers are really making statues. Like, back in the day, it was like, that's a guy that makes statues. Now it's like, hey, can someone make a statue for me? It's like, sure, I'll give it a shot.
It's a real interesting thing to me that after a certain generation, it's just an art form that's just been lost.
Yeah, now we got digital statues, you know?
Yeah, NFTs.
Yeah. Remember those? Fucking
Oh God,
idiots. Fucking
NFTs. Everybody
idiots.
thought this was going to be like the next thing because a bunch of
You fucking
celebrities bought like a
idiots.
picture of an ape. This could essentially, this statue could be like one of those apes.
All
What are
of
they called?
yous that fucking invested in that shit, yeah, an idiot.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do it daily and all the rest of this
but
time.
truly,
You
but
fucking
truly,
idiot.
why is it that after this, I mean, one of the greatest things. Okay, here's a better question. How many statues, like life-size replica statues, do we think are made per capita in the United States every year? I want to know.
Every
Vince, find
year?
out.
You got
Every year,
what? Just
365.
fucking how many statues are made every year?
Google it.
I know
Call
you
the
sound like, dude,
Googles
you're such an
and
old
find
man.
out.
You're such an
Call
old,
the
old
Googles.
man. Hey, if you could just fucking call up Google real quick and ask him to see how many fucking statues are made in a year. Jesus.
I'm just curious. I mean,
I
are there
know.
people who do this? And if
Look,
they
I
are,
guess you just
do this,
I guess you just don't have a Google, but I'll do it for you.
do they purposely fuck it up?
Here's a good answer for you. There isn't much information about how many statues are made in a year. Great. Thank you.
Thanks,
Uh,
AI.
yeah, there's around 18,000 statues, figures, busts made by Sideshow that are listed as retail. None of this tells me anything.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll never know.
They work by the hour.
So they need to find the most highly hourly rated statue maker to redo
No,
this.
they need somebody to do it, and then while they're doing it, they need another person to be like accurate, non-accurate, fix it, whatever. Because this is also metal, so I'm trying to figure out how they actually did it. It's not like they're taking a fucking hammer and a chisel at it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
Yeah.
made. This was made out of bronze or some shit. It's gotta last or whatever. It's gonna have like natural weathering that looks good. This is just really bad. It's scary. It's good for Halloween. I might go as Dwayne Wade's statue and show up to Arizona tomorrow dressed up as Dwayne Wade's statue.
That would be quite the feat if you could pull
That
that
would
one
be
off.
quite uncomfortable on an airplane.
I mean, just hold the screen in front of your face while I throw shit at it at this
Boom.
point.
Damn.
I mean,
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Dwayne Wade, one of the best shooting guards of all time. Beast.
oh,
best
Chicago-born
Miami Heat, best Miami Heat player of all time. He deserves better than this. That's just bad
He-
news.
Now, Vince, how do you think they rectified a statue? Do you think they sit him back down in a room and said, "Okay, we really fucked this up," and
No,
redo
he
it?
had a celebration. He was happy, all was well, and then he just leaves. I think what happened is that no one knew what this was going to look like. They did all this shit, and then they were like, "Oh wait, this is actually bad," because the media was saying that. I
So
think
you're
they thought
telling
this
me they're
looked
not
good
gonna go?
until it happened.
So you're telling me they're not going to go back and fix it?
I don't know. Did they ever fix the Ronaldo?
Yeah, they did. They
Did
actually
they?
did because
Did
he
they
was like,
fix
"Who the
David
fuck is that guy?"
Beckham's?
I think so because he was like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Yeah, because that shit was bad too. Like, there's so many bad statues.
They usually redo them, and then what do they do with the bad statue? It's not like you can completely
Okay,
reform
I
'em.
just learned that David Beckham's was fake, which is good because
That's good.
oh Christ, it was bad. It was bad. Jesus Christ, it was bad. Look at this.
That's fantastic.
It was James Corden though, and he's a loser, so I take it back. That's Dwayne Wade's statue. Any last takes on Dwayne Wade's statue? I got another one I want to get to.
I just want to know what happens to all the long lost statues that they fuck up. Do they sell them? Do they resell
No, they put
them?
him on Easter Island. You got to go find him.
Okay, so it's like the island for misfit toys.
Yep, better believe
But
it.
these are statues. Okay, to the next strange topic.
To the next strange and unusual, we have Austin Capobianco. Austin Capobianco, how you doing?
How you doing, my friend?
The Bronx. Setting, the Bronx.
His face.
Situation. Mookie Betts goes to catch a fly ball in the right field corner. Austin goes up to get the ball too because it's on the wall. Mookie Betts catches it. Austin goes down, tries to grab the ball out of Mookie Betts' wrist, and then proceeds to, and also with an accomplice, seemingly rip Mookie Betts' wrist off his fucking body. It's so New York. It's wild. Is it funny? Yes. Is it good? Probably not. You shouldn't be able to do that. He has now been banned from Game 5 along with everybody that he was with, meaning that the other season ticket holders can't go either. Don't know how I feel about that personally, but I would like to say that grabbing and holding on to an athlete hanging from a wall during a professional sports game, regardless of the time, probably not good. Probably can't do that, boys.
This to me smells like the most Tim Robinson sketch ever, but it's
Little
in
bit,
real life,
little
right?
bit.
And he
Yeah,
kind of
fucking
looks like him.
his name's
I think
Austin
the internet.
Capobianco. He's from the Bronx. He was friends with
Hey,
Rob Gronkowski and on the hockey team at
how
Arizona.
did okay? Did Rob Gronkowski state that that is true?
Yeah, on Kay Adams. He's like, I know this guy. He was on the hockey team at Arizona. They were all maniacs, is what he said.
That tracks.
Yeah.
And I mean, for somebody to do that, that definitely tracks. But this seems to be like the most Tim Robinson sketch of
Hmm.
all time. AKA, I think you should leave. And I've been looking this up on the internet before the show. It's trending right now. So in the next season of I Think You Should Leave, this needs
Oh,
to
yeah.
be a short.
There might be a reference. Weird, weird media reaction to this. He became kind of a cult hero today.
I don't know if that tracks, but
I don't think
okay.
it does either. It was kind of just like, oh, this funny New Yorker always getting the ball from those guys. And I'm like,
Tried
he
to tear
fucking
his wrist
he
off.
tried to rip his arm off, dude. You can't let him do that. And then he did an interview and he said, ball came to me. I see the ball. I get the ball. Mookie comes up, starts swearing at me. Not good, is what he said, which was funny. Again, this guy is comedic. Can't do that, boys. You can't do that. If it was like Mookie has the ball and then he's like, give me the ball. And he's like, no, I have the ball. He's like, if it was funny like that, sure. Yeah. He tried to rip his arm out of the socket.
What was the
Unfortunately, I
call
can't
on the
do.
field? Did they call it an out?
Oh, yeah. Mookie got up there, caught it, and then they grabbed his glove. So the ball was clearly in the glove, done. Mookie held on to it. Guy tried to, he was trying to rip the ball out of the glove, which is funny. Where it's like,
And
give me
in the
the,
most Notre Dame shit ever.
what do you mean? I see
My
what I'm
bad.
saying. I always catch
I
strays. I haven't said
no,
a word
no,
about them, and then you're like,
no,
"Hey, maybe this bad guy is just like a
no,
Notre Dame fan." You
no.
fuck. I
I
didn't
totally
ask for this.
my mind's on college football already
Oh
because that's the
man,
topic, but this is the most
Jesus.
New York shit ever.
Yeah.
Forgive
Oh,
me.
you didn't. You just, dude, rent free,
Freudian
brother.
slip.
Rent free,
Forgive me.
brother. Rent
And,
free.
and in
Play
the
like a
most
champion today.
oh fuck. And in the
Oh
most New
shit.
York Yankee fan shit ever. But do you know the theory right now, Vince, that a lot of people are believing that due to the Yankees' woes right now in the World Series, that
Like
since
Drake running through
no,
the six with my
no,
walls.
the fact that they are
Oh, bad at
3-1
baseball.
and at
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
jeopardy of
Yeah,
losing
yeah,
the
yeah.
series
Gotcha.
tonight at home,
Yep.
which potentially could happen. And we will know more as we get through the show. We will give live updates by tomorrow.
Yeah.
You will know whether or
Hundo
not we're
B.
going to have a game 6. Fingers crossed that we have a game 6 because the boys will be together and we want to watch some baseball.
Facts.
With that though, there is a theory right now going out that the Big AJ and
Ooh.
Big Justice, aka
Yeah.
Costco guys,
Yeah, yeah. Pretty good.
were collectively blamed for mushing the Yankees because they did
Bro.
a boom video prior to the Yankees World Series with the whole family because now the whole fucking family's going to get involved.
No, we
And this-
can't do that because they were at the game last night.
Okay, but
And
this
they
is before
the
all
one
that.
game, the one game they're at, they win. You can't be a mush if you're there for the one game they win.
Yeah, you got a point. Because you
You
want to
know?
know why, Vince? They brought
They
the
bring the boom, dude.
I hate it so much.
He double chunk chocolate cookied all over the Dodgers, dude. He chicken baked that shit inside Freddie Freeman, dude. Yeah, I mean, they're the good luck charm, dude. They're the fucking kings of New York. The Rizzler's the fucking man. Fuck you.
Okay. We will show on this podcast one day, I swear. The Rizzler looks like incredibly
Oh.
similar to fat, chubby.
I have to reach out to your mother and have her send me a
8-year-old
picture
Mike.
of baby Mike because I will make a graphic for you. Baby Mike versus the Rizzler. Who wins in a fight? My money's on baby Mike. You were a
I was a little
fat little
hothead.
boy, and it was
I
cute.
was I was. I really was. I mean,
Yeah.
not many people are 200 pounds in the 3rd grade.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, throw him down a hill, he's rolling away. Like, in
I
a
was.
good way.
Destroyer
Handsome
of
boy, though.
baseballs.
Still handsome.
All right.
Dude,
Well,
yeah,
there was
nukes.
my tinfoil hat moment, aka conspiracy podcast moment.
Yep.
Let's talk finally now, Vince, about the team
Sports?
that is in fact living rent free in my head, the Notre
Yes.
Dame Fighting Irish.
Ooh,
So
baby, do you know what that's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. They're good, man.
so
They're good,
they're
man.
good. They're good. They eat chicken pigs.
They're 8th in the
A lot of
country
people
good.
a lot of people thought that Navy was going to hang with them
Yeah.
in this game, and they went to Annapolis to play Navy. And a lot of
They
people
went
are like,
to
they're home
is that
dogs.
Annapolis, New Jersey? They went to MetLife Stadium to play that game.
Oh, they okay. So neutral site. I didn't even watch
Yep.
it. I was
Well,
busy.
no, I guess Navy plays there for part of the season every year or something like that. But yeah, they were
Whatever.
yeah.
Either way, I thought this game would be far closer than it was, but Notre
Same.
Dame just came out and just laid it on thick.
They pummeled them every quarter. 4th quarter, it was like, all right, hold up, Riley Leonard doing what he does. 13 throws is all he needs to get the dub. Fun little statistic I heard today on SI. Notre Dame beat Navy 51-14, 6 turnovers, 7 touchdowns. The Jets and the Giants this year have combined for 6 touchdowns at home. Notre Dame in one game has scored more touchdowns at MetLife than the Jets and the Giants combined. That
Wow.
rocks. That rocks.
It does in fact rock, Vince.
All of this being said, Navy, not going to say anything about Army yet because we still have them coming up. But they were better than they've been in a long time. This game was always a shoe-in victory. So if you look at their schedule, which you did last week, and you see that Navy has played nobody all year, yeah, this is the first time they played like a real fucking defense, like a first time they played a ranked team. I was surprised, but I wasn't like, oh my God. I just texted my brother. I'm
That's
like,
true.
Notre Dame committed a murder on Saturday. Like, that's what they did. And it's like,
That's
yeah,
true.
this was a good story, but also if you're a Notre Dame fan and you beat Navy by that, yeah, you should. Like, go and do that.
They
You
needed
know?
this win. They needed a big win against the team that was undefeated to really prove that they're not frauds, considering that NIU loss and close games against Louisville and things like that.
Can you call them a fraud
So-
if they beat a top 10 team already this year, though? That's the real question.
Yes, now they're a top 10 team. Take it easy.
Well, no,
Take it
they
easy.
beat a top 10 team is what I'm saying. Week 1,
Who?
Texas A&M.
Now they're top 10.
Yeah.
Now.
yeah,
Now.
I know.
They weren't always top 10.
I
And
know.
We'll get into that game because I have a lot of
Yep.
thoughts on that game.
Mhm.
Notre Dame did need this win in a big one, and it was legit. I'd like to update everybody. The Yankees are up 3-0 in the top of the second.
Uh-oh. You know the Dodgers are a late game team though, so we'll see how that ends up going.
Well, I'm just saying.
I know.
It looks like
I understand.
it looks like Judge woke up. So
Did he?
update
He
for
finally
everybody,
isn't,
yeah.
dude. Yeah, we'll get to baseball actually.
we'll get to
it.
baseball.
We'll get to
But
it.
another game I'd like to bring out here
Mhm.
is the
Bring 'em out.
Nebraska Ohio State game. In the shoe, Nebraska goes on the road to play
Frauds.
the Ohio State, and
They're frauds, dude.
wow, gave
I
them a
know.
run for their money after the week prior getting absolutely drag raced by
Indian?
IU. I will say this. I mean, is Kurt Signetti a better head coach than Ryan Day? Vince is gonna
Allow
love
me
this
to
argument.
say what I've been saying all fucking year, Michael. Ohio State number 2 in the nation when that happened, right? Or were they 3? Whatever it may be. Kurt Signetti put, what, 51 on Nebraska?
Yeah.
All Ohio State could do is put up 21, and barely. They barely won that football game. Will Howard, sure, he's good. They got that stud receiver. They're not as good as people have been saying. And I said that week 1 when you look at their schedule and everybody was going down to different teams and you're like, Ohio State's still undefeated. Not your, but like, the nation was. And I'm like, yeah, they're undefeated against bullshit. the last couple weeks they played better teams and they're playing them close. Now we've seen national champions play teams close every game. We've seen that before, but like
I feel
they're
like every
not
dog has their day. Nebraska's a young team, still trying to
sure.
figure it out. They'll have games where they show up, they'll have games where they won't. But I will say, responding to a game that they lost big in Indiana to go into the shoe
Yeah.
and play like they did was impressive. Raiola didn't have the best game, 21 to 32,
Pat
152,
Mahomes Jr.
interception. And no, he's not. Will Howard, though, had a wonderful game. He settled in 3
Yeah, just
touchdowns,
don't throw it a
200 plus
lot.
yards passing, one interception. It was a good game overall. Now, when you move forward on the schedule, now you got Penn State coming up this week. I have thoughts, man. I don't know how this is going to roll.
So Penn State's like a dual quarterback team now. You see that
Why is
backup
that?
they got? He's like a speed option king. He's like a runaround college football quarterback. Drew Aller, pro style. Drew Aller, day to day. I think he's injured right now, but he's like day to day. You could play both of them in different packages. I like Penn State. I think they're really good. They can run the shit out of the football. This could I think they might be better than Ohio State. It's bias, obviously. But I
It's a
think they
Will
might be better than Ohio
Howard
State.
come in and prove something game. This is a prove it game for Will Howard because he grew up in Pennsylvania and
Right.
they didn't even recruit him.
Ryan Day's
So
notoriously really good in big games, so they should be fine.
I like him in this
Ohio
matchup.
State?
And I think, yeah, I really do. I think that
Okay.
Will Howard's coming in with something to prove, and it might be Fugazi. If they lose this game, it's officially Fugazi.
I'll tell you what, man.
I'll tell you what,
Tell you
man. I
what.
like him. I like him.
Penn State and Wisconsin was a pretty damn close game in the first half. So
It was a really close game in the first
Yeah.
half. I actually had friends who were there.
yeah, Madison.
In the flesh in Madison. They did the back to school tour. We have a close friend at a show who is a career student PA at the University of Wisconsin in Chinese culture. Shout out to Brennan. And is still chapter counsel at his fraternity at the Beta House. So once a year, the boys would do the back to school trip, which is always a riot.
Still
and
doing
you
that?
feel really old.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
still,
I was gonna
we
say
must.
you're gonna look like a fucking elder there, brother.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how many kids walk up to you and be like, "So is your kid in the frat?" And be like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm
Hey, what's up? You guys like gin? And they're like, who the fuck is this guy?
no, I just started. I'm a student, sweetheart. Have a good day."
Yeah.
But with all of that, Wisconsin usually the homecoming game, senior, whole thing. They showed up. This
Yeah, it
was
was
a big
parents'
deal.
weekend, something else. My
Yeah.
cousin was down there. Supposedly there was a lot of shit going on in Wisconsin. And shout out to him, but the second half got out of hand pretty quickly, and Penn State doubled them up. So, like at the end of the day, wasn't a close game. Second half teams win championships. Not going to say they're going to win a championship or anything like that, but there is some flaws. They're not unbeatable. I will say that.
They're not unbeatable. USC almost beat them. Shout out to USC throwing it to Rutgers. I mean, they gave
Yeah.
Rutgers the
Hey, man, take
They-
wins where you can get them. That's what I say.
They needed that win.
Yeah.
Not like it's a big deal, but we'll see.
Just
what happens.
emotionally.
Yeah, emotionally, they needed that win after
Yeah.
3 horrific losses. Now, IU stays undefeated.
Yeah, man.
And
They're fun. I mean, Washington's not that good this year, but god damn it, they're fun. They're really
is there
fun.
a path? Is there a path for them to?
I think there's a way where I think we talked about this last week too. Like I think 2 or 3 Big Ten teams can go undefeated because Indiana's not playing Oregon for the rest of the year. Penn State's undefeated right now. What do you do in that? Like, I mean, obviously Indiana has the weakest schedule. So if you're looking at Penn State, Oregon as the Big Ten champion, like Indiana can get into the playoffs, sneak into the playoff with an undefeated record. Like, that could really happen here.
Indiana could, in fact, sneak into the playoff. Now, what they'll do in the playoff, you play
Yeah.
a team that's legit.
100%.
I don't know how that's going to look. You play at Penn State, you play in Ohio State. They might surprise some people. The playing
Very well
field
could.
anymore in college football is so even. It's becoming, at least in major conferences, very NFL-like.
Some would say it's the best year for a 12-team playoff.
It could be, and I think
Some would
there's
say.
more years to come with it, and I do
Yeah.
believe that as you start to look at the landscape of college football, it will start to get to that two-conference system. Now, another team I would like to just kinda look out for here is, and you may wanna just kinda look back at this one and say, "Oh, that guy kinda called that one." How about the return of Crying Brian? Again, we're here again.
Yeah.
We're talking about the same thing.
I've been saying all year that Texas A&M was a powerhouse, and the only team
Of
that
their
could bring him down,
powerhouse.
and the only team that could bring him down was the lucky Irishes from the north. No,
They're not a powerhouse.
I think that Brian Kelly is a fraud in big games. This is not a hot take. This is one that almost everybody has, and we've seen it again. That Texas A&M defense is fucking good. They're a lot better than they were the first week. I'll fucking tell you that. And who's their quarterback name? Connor Wegman did what he needed to do. They scored a shit ton on running the ball. They ran the shit out of LSU. They dominated the clock the whole time, and they made Garrett Nussmeyer throw 3 interceptions. LSU, not as good as people thought
Well,
they were. I didn't think they were that good when they were ranked 6 at some point. Like,
I don't know what happened to Wegman watching this game. I don't know if he got pulled in the fourth or if he got hurt, but they put in Marcel Reed, their backup.
yeah, yep.
And you look at that and you're like, oh, well, all right, maybe he's hurt. Maybe they just didn't like what they were getting out of Wegman.
You want to know what rocks with Marcel Reed is that he is averaging 35 yards a throw. So you got to like that. He's 100% completion percentage, 35 yards a throw.
But they ran all over him.
Oh,
Defense
whole
was
thing.
elite. And
man.
LSU, as I stated, frauds to be ranked 8th. So
Yeah.
Vince, at least one of our teams gets to be ranked in the top 10. And for you, I'll give props where props are due.
Still
We'll
some
see how they
time.
do.
You
Still
have
some
the
time.
ability. You have the ability to ruin my year at the end of the year here. So we'll see how that.
I don't wish for a lot of things, but
Yeah.
that's kind of one of them.
I
Now,
know. I would never do that to you, by the way. I would only root for good things.
I'd like to jump to Kansas State, one of the best rivalries in college football over the past century. I mean, truly, this is a long-term rivalry and two schools that just don't like each other, and it's the battle for the great state of Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kansas State historically has owned this rivalry, and they continue to do so.
They still do. I was going to say they still do.
Kansas always comes within a field goal this game, though. They always come within an inch, and it just wasn't enough. Jalen Daniels did just not have a good game, and he gets too run happy.
Fourth
He's
quarter,
not that
man.
guy.
Good teams finish in the fourth quarter. Kansas couldn't score in the fourth quarter, and Kansas State scored just enough. This is one of those like in-state rivalries where you're never really going to get a blowout, regardless of how good one team is and how not good another team is. Kansas people expected to be a little better this year, for sure. Where it was like the basketball teams are coming, everybody watch out. They've been ass all year, but like you get up to play Kansas State, in my opinion.
Well, Kansas State ranked top 20.
Yeah, and they have been all year. They've been like around the 13 to 17 all year.
Big 12 championship prediction. It's going to be Kansas State and BYU, I think.
I was like me, big and 12. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
Same. AK, welcome back to the Big 12 podcast. We were both very big at 12. So another game I'd like to jump to, also near that part of the world. Not really, but Duke played SMU and not Mike's Duke team.
Kansas, Southern Methodist, and then North Carolina.
I thought about it after I said it, and it came out wrong. So forgive me.
I
gotta go look at a map.
We ride.
I gotta look at a map.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to point out that after 7 turnovers, Duke can't finish this fucking game, and
Brutal.
SMU came out of nowhere to win in overtime due to a Duke Blue Devils team that went for a 2-point conversion on a touchdown to try and ice the game to make it 29-28 and failed in converting in that 2-point conversion.
Tie the game, buddy. Tie the game there.
Yeah, I agree.
They say play to win. You do that. Tie the game there. If you have a chance to prolong the game, especially if you're playing a team that you're probably worse than, SMU's been pretty damn good this year, don't lose the game. People always say play to win the game. Don't play to lose the game. Like there's a
Yeah.
difference there. Like you go for 2 if you're up 1. Or you go for 2 if you're up 2 rather, so you can get out a field goal reach. You don't go for 2 if you're down 1. You go for 1 and you prolong the game.
Or if you're up 1, you go for 2 like the Bears did and then lose in a Hail Mary. But
we were up 2 and then went for 2, so we were up 4.
Oh yeah, that's
whatever.
right. But
Whatever.
then touchdowns. Now, Texas. Can we talk about Texas?
Yeah, man, what's going on? What's happening over there?
Is Vandy that good?
They're
or
better.
Is Texas
Sneaky,
just let off the gas a little bit?
Sneaky good, Vanderbilt. Sneaky good. Diego Pavia does what he needs to do. He's the spark plug, throw the ball and see what the fuck happens kind of guy. He's Jameis Winston in Tampa Bay, 40-40. He's just like, I'm putting the ball somewhere, and I hope something's going to happen. And they haven't had a dog like that, maybe ever in Vandy.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah. Yeah, similar for sure. But even
You're not
so,
thinking
like
about Jay Cutler, Vince.
this guy's chaos. Yeah, man. Texas is 7-1, but they're questionable 7-1 now. And there was a time during this year where I thought they were clearly the number 1 team. Clearly.
I don't know. Pavia just seems like trying to pass off the really good-looking guy as a scientist in like a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Are you jealous
Like-
of a 20-year-old again?
No, I'm not jealous of a 20-year-old, Vince. But what I'm saying is like he's good, but he doesn't look the part, if that makes sense.
Oh,
He
he's
competes in
great.
these games.
He's Gardner Minshew on the Jaguars.
He's kind
Yeah.
of like Gardner Minshew at Washington State.
He's not an NFL
like-
guy, but he's like a
No.
spark plug. I'm going to make some shit happen. He's Johnny
He's
Manziel at A&M, but not as good.
He's a really good college quarterback, and I don't
Yeah.
think he'll ever get to the next level. I hope he does, right?
He'll have a car dealer shipped in Nashville, Tennessee, and make a killing.
Right. But to
Yeah.
the point, it's like passing off Mark Wahlberg as a scientist in a
Yeah.
movie. You can't do it.
Yeah,
You can't be like, oh, I really like. Could you imagine that? Like, I don't know what
I
you want me to
broke
do.
my
I don't know what
leg.
the electrons are.
Is that
like-
Marky Mark? Yeah, I
Like-
broke my leg. It's like, let me
If I
rap
can't
at
fight
it.
this, if I can't fight the elements, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You ever
like-
tried calisthenics?
I can't believe that person is what they are. I
yeah.
can't. Or Glenn Powell, for example, is a scientist in
That's
the
a
new
handsome
Twisters
man.
movie. That guy's too good looking to be a fucking scientist.
I agree. You
Right?
can't have it all, Glenn. You're either hot or smart. You can't have it all, buddy.
You can't have it all. Is all I'm getting at. You know, look at like for example.
I didn't get either. Go on,
I mean,
sorry.
think about per capita how many like good looking people are professional quarterbacks. It just doesn't like, right? It just doesn't make sense.
Let's tier list this. Tom Brady's hot.
Well, it's Tom. Tom
Peyton-
wasn't always that way.
Peyton
Plastic
Manning
surgery,
not
model
hot.
wife.
Peyton
No.
Manning not hot.
No, not at all. Looks like a
Justin
shoe.
Fields handsome.
Eh,
Trevor Lawrence
That's your
looks like a Nord god in a bad way. His head's too
Yeah,
big
well-
for his body.
he's got the Viking thing going on.
Stafford's handsome.
He's a good looking cat. That's true.
Rodgers is handsome.
He's a tool.
CJ Stroud, yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not handsome. You've never met a hot guy that's a tool. That's most hot guys.
True. That's true. These are true things.
Sam Darnold, middle of the road. Geno Smith, middle of the road. I don't know. I think you can
To my
kind of.
point,
There's a spectrum on quarterbacks.
there is not like a Glenn Powell out there playing professional quarterback, right?
Tom Brady was.
And I
pretty
don't
hot.
know how we get on this topic of crushing on grown men, but whatever.
Tua?
In like a polite, I'll meet your parents way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like a nice fella. He's a good
Nice fella, believes
Yeah.
in Christ, will
Yeah.
definitely marry your daughter before doing the thing, you know?
100%.
So
Yeah. Only wanted
Either way.
pregnancies. Quinn Ewers.
either way, is
handsome
Texas,
guy.
Is Texas going to be competing for a national championship?
They'll be in
Are
it the
you
whole
still
time.
believe?
And then they'll
Do you
give they'll be in it the whole time. They'll probably give it up in disgusting fashion and no one's going to like the game to get kicked out on. That's what I believe.
So if you had to throw a dart right now, Who's in the national championship game? SEC, Georgia, Texas. Pick one.
Who's going to win out of that? Probably Georgia. Georgia's hotter right now, man. They really are.
Exactly. Georgia's Glenn Powell. Texas is not.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now. Fortunately or unfortunately.
It's true. It's very true. Okay, let's talk about the NBA, Vince. Go ahead.
Hold on.
What are we holding for?
Let's look at next week for a second here.
Oh,
Let's see
how dare
what
I.
we're going to see. We got Oregon, Michigan. Fun matchup last year. Horrible this year. Michigan's ass.
Snooze.
Michigan's
Snooze.
booty
Snooze.
cheeks ass this year, dude.
Booty,
Snooze
booty.
fest. Oregon
snooty.
clearly number one. They're pretty fucking good, Mike.
They're good. They're not clear number one, but they're good.
We've been dogging them. We started the year dogging them. Both of us did.
Okay.
And they're better than I thought they were going to be.
Answer this truthfully.
Yeah.
If Oregon lined up against Georgia,
Oregon wins, man. I do think so. They're
you
playing
think
their
Dylan
ass off.
Gabriel doesn't shit down his leg against Georgia's defense? I
don't think they
is
do.
going
I think
all over the place.
They've been playing their ass
all
off
over.
all year. And not even that. It's more just like if you don't lose a game.
The only team they have played that is good as Ohio State, and they almost gave it away. And I know it counts in horseshoes in the hand grenade.
I mean, I don't know.
I will tell you.
Like, I know it's not crazy, but like they played Illinois. Illinois is ranked. They played Boise. Boise's got the best running back we've seen in fucking 10 years. Like, yeah, you could do that all you want, but like they almost lost to Boise State for what it's worth.
A lot of guys think that this team's number one. Mike, not necessarily. So
Yeah, you're just an UGA guy. You're just an UGA fella.
I do believe the defense in Georgia is supreme. It's the best defense, has the most money behind it.
Granted, they had their letdown, and now they're moving forward, and they're probably better because of it. So, and the only loss they have is against like the number 2 team in the fucking nation. So at the time, so I'll give it to you. But I don't know. I sometimes you got to see a team lose before you can really say they're going to lose. You know,
The rest of their schedule is a cakewalk too, so they're definitely going to
Until you
probably
get-
be the first-ranked team in all of college sports.
and then they play
going-
what? Ohio State in the Big Ten championship,
It's either that or Penn State, depending on what happens Saturday morning.
and then
Which this game,
Indiana gets fucked. It sucks, dude.
it does kind of suck because Indiana's having a great season, and maybe
Yeah.
next year, if they play real Power 5 teams, they will be in this dance.
Yeah.
And I think it helps IU's case, though, because now they have another year to go recruit and NIL and all of it,
Well,
and
yeah.
say, hey, look at what we're building here in Bloomington.
Half that
So-
team is JMU guys. So,
Right. Which
yeah.
isn't a bad thing, but they need some real deal talent. Go recruit some guys in, the South and SoCal and things like that. And now you got something to talk about.
It's true. Also, Heisman. It's Travis Hunter, yeah? Or is it Cam Ward? Or is it Ashton Genty?
I do believe it's really got to be Travis Hunter. Nobody does what he does.
He got
Nobody
Defensive
does.
Player of the Week a couple weeks ago. Last week, he got Offensive Player of the Week. We also didn't talk about this. Colorado, pretty good.
No,
they're not going to make it to
no,
the fucking playoff. They're
no,
not that
wrong.
level. They're better
You're
than I thought they
wrong.
were. They're better than I thought they were going to be. Is that fair?
Okay, whatever that means. It's like
I didn't
saying
think they were going to
I
be very
wish
good.
this-
Shador Sanders is a pretty good quarterback. Do I think he's going to be good in the NFL? Not really, but he's a pretty good quarterback. Travis Hunter makes a difference.
It's like hoping that the frozen yogurt's going to be as good as the ice cream. It never
Yeah.
is.
And you're just trying to suck that cow teat. And I got what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
both come from a cow, but they're not good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
But one
one's
of them's
far
yogurt.
better than the other.
Yeah.
Right. One's yogurt. It's the same cow, not the same
Uh-huh.
product.
Uh-huh.
One's good for you. One's not very good for you.
They're pretty good, though.
They're all
Pretty
right.
So yeah, it seems like a 2-man race. Ashton Genty fell off a little bit since what he's been doing. Still can break the record. More games than Barry Sanders though, so we'll see how that all shakes out. Any games you're really intrigued by? This isn't the best week of college football ever, but any games you're
not the
intrigued by?
Greatest ever. I do like this Kentucky versus Tennessee game, I feel like for whatever reason, Kentucky's been going on the road and surprising a lot of people this
Oh yeah.
year, i.e. Ole Miss. So
Yep.
when you look at that, that's something that kind of draws some interest for me. I also think Pittsburgh at SMU is an interesting game in the
Pittsburgh is a
ACC.
weird little team. Weird little
They
team,
are
man.
very weird. And not only that, Ole Miss Arkansas could be a game potentially. Arkansas always plays good at home. And then
Want to hear a
somehow,
sneaky upset possibility?
I think the game that poses the biggest upset possibility could very well just be Louisville potentially looking at
Yes.
Clemson.
Yes, dude.
I look at that game, I'm like, ooh, upset.
It's Louisville plays teams close. Louisville plays high-ranked teams close. They played Miami close. They played Notre Dame close. Clemson's not completely out of the weeds. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying take Louisville with the spread and see what happens.
Not saying it's going to happen. Take the spread. That's
Let's
the call.
just say I get to Arizona and I might sprinkle a little bit on that Louisville spread because I wonder where that line is, but I'm using my phone right now, so I can't see it.
We'll take a look at it while we're here, and we'll have like pre and post pressers on our bets.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a fun one. We have Armed Forces game, Air Force and Army. That's always
Not the
snooze.
Armed Forces game, but a Armed Forces game.
Yes.
For the sake of my sanity, I hope, and again, we're bringing them up just to say it. Notre Dame plays Florida State this week. Florida State's not very good. It kind of scares me a little bit, which is fine. We're going to get
Why
through
does
it.
scare you?
It's because they, again, like not very good teams, little expectations. Granted, it's Florida State, so they don't think they're going to be that way, but, it could be a little scary. They get up for good games, and they don't get up for bad games. I want Army to stay undefeated until they play us.
Okay. I like where your head's at. I will say that you probably don't have too much to worry about. The team's just like broken.
This is
It's-
what I'm
it's nothing.
saying, though. They don't have to play
Yeah,
for
no.
shit, so they might be a fucking, like, greased hog. Yeah, and they fucking shit on Navy so hard last week that I think they're just gonna come out and be like, we can beat anybody. Like, let's go frolic through the fucking leprechaun fields or some shit. And
I was about to say, did they turn into little leprechauns while they
Yeah.
were there?
They might
they
have.
went
It might just
to
be it.
Jersey and turned into little lepers.
It might just be
Yeah,
it, man.
out of all the games, I do like that. I like USC. I like the Pac-12 matchup. Give me the Pac-12 matchup.
The
I feel
former
like that's
Pac-12
fun.
matchup, yeah.
I like the Washington game. That's a fun one. All in all, that's a fun one. That's one where I feel like USC can go in and potentially continue this path to getting ranked again.
I've been hearing
I'll
a
be
lot of
happy if-
stinking Riley recently. It's not good. I've been hearing
They're not gonna
stinking
fire him.
Riley around, Mike. A lot of
This
stinking Riley.
once again, this team is Texas 2 years ago.
Okay. Whatever you gotta tell yourself.
Hey, we got time to build, Vince. I don't want to hear your shit.
Okay. I believe you. Stinking
All right.
Riley.
There you go.
Basketball. Come on.
We're playing basketball.
Couple things. One dumb, one funny. Joel Embiid to sit out back-to-backs for the entire year. If there's a back-to-back game, he's sitting out all of them. I think there's 16 on their schedule. There's a new rule in the NBA where you need to play a certain amount of games or you aren't valid for any yearly award. He's going to be under that threshold if he were to do this. Sorry, 32 back-to-backs, 16 of those games he's going to miss. Given his injuries in the past, in the playoffs, not being able to finish it at the highest level, is this a good or a bad thing?
I'm not a fan of guys just taking games to take games, so
Yeah.
I weigh on the side of if you don't play, you don't deserve an award. So yeah, I agree.
There is talk that his offseason regimen isn't as stringent as it probably should be. I think if he were to train like LeBron James does in the offseason, he'd probably be a little bit more prepared for the year. He is 7'2". He is fucking enormous.
Even more so why you need to take care of yourself.
To announce it at the beginning of the year saying, don't even get your hopes up, I'm not doing it. Part of me is like, good, because then you're not going to go to the second game in a back-to-back. And then part of me is like, fuck you, dude. And I listened to Trevor Ariza talk about that today, and he's like, your team's not going to fucking trust you if you're not even committed to it. But he's also a dog, and he's always been that way. So I hate it. I do hate it, but part of me gets it because Embiid gets to the playoffs and he's gassed completely.
This is my problem with the modern day NBA. These guys don't play anymore for the love of the game. It's all for a fucking paycheck. And there's a handful of teams that play for the love of the game, and they usually win championships, i.e., the fucking Celtics.
You
It's a
see,
bunch of prima donna, crybaby little bitches. The only thing that they do is make millions of dollars a year to
no,
dribble a
it's a
fucking
group.
basketball
It's a
and take
group of
plays
prima
off.
donna
I hate
crybaby
it.
bitches.
I hate it. I hate it.
You don't
And they somehow
watch it,
stick
though.
around for
You don't
decades.
watch
I watch
it,
the
though.
playoffs. I
You
watch enough to
see,
know.
you watch the shit that comes out like in the media during the season. That's the thing.
What else do I need to
There's
watch,
there's
Vince?
so much basketball going on, but you only see the
I
storylines, which is obviously the
I
prima
can't
donna
watch the Bulls. The Bulls are horrific, and then
shit.
you
Yeah,
got this.
Lonzo Ball's out for 10 days.
There you go. He comes back and
Fractured
immediately out.
Wrist.
There-
Fractured
oh wow!
wrist.
Now it's his wrist. His
Yeah,
joints are
it's
just
not his
horrific.
knees.
His joints are horrific. Just send him out for pasture.
Did you
At
see
this
John?
stage of the game of the NBA might as well just be played with little like dresses because all these guys are bitches. I'm sick of them. I'm
Some
sick
of
of
these
the
guys are
sick of the
bitches.
culture in
Agreed.
the NBA.
All these guys, not. Some of these, yes. Here's the point.
Majority of the NBA are
No.
all self-entitled.
Oh, stinky take. Stinky take.
Not a
Don't like
stinky
that one,
take.
Vic.
Look at the
Majority,
mass population of the NBA.
51% of the NBA? That's crazy. The majority of the NBA is trying to stay in the NBA. The majority of the NBA aren't stars.
Okay, let me put
Those
it
guys are
back.
fighting for a job.
Top 10% of the NBA.
I'll
Bunch
give
of
you that.
crybaby little girls.
I'll give you
And they
that.
all dictate how the game flows of each team.
Yeah.
And the days of like great coaching, there's only so many left. And I give Tibbs a lot of credit what he's putting together in New York. I've paid attention to what Cat's done at the beginning of the season. It started slow.
Yeah.
He's starting to figure it out. Talk about a guy you're worried about getting too many minutes because Tibbs is going to potentially run that kid into the
Oh, he's
fucking
going to
ground.
ruin him. That's his biggest thing. You want to know who's a good coach? Is Joe Mazzulla, Mike.
I like Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla, you fucking duh, you do. That makes a lot of sense. They're like, are you worried about the expectations? Like, we expect nothing. We haven't done shit. And you're like, yeah, get right back at it, dude.
That's the way you need to be. You won a championship. It's over now. We restart. Let's go win another
Speaking
one.
of two ships passing in the night, the Celtics played the Bucks the other day. Did you see this clip of Doc Rivers?
I did not.
Doc Rivers had a game plan to defend Peyton Pritchard. First off, Celtics on a tear to start the season. They're fucking amazing. They might win another one. They're definitely the best team in the NBA right now. Peyton Pritchard knocked down three-pointer, and Doc Rivers is like hands on his knees, just shaking his head, looking at the ground like everybody on this fucking team can make a shot. Like, we're so screwed. And then meanwhile, trouble in paradise. Bucks are having a hard time. Giannis and Damian Lillard aren't working out. Who would have guessed? Who would have thought? And they're not playing defense. So this truly is like two teams that should be equal, and one of them has good coaching, and the other one is Doc Rivers just pandering to the players. So you're right at the 10%, not at the 51. But yes, to your point.
I completely understand. It's just the attitude of the NBA. Like Kobe would be rolling in his grave.
Kobe bitched the Lakers into doing a lot of shit.
Like winning?
I mean, he dismantled his team. Granted, it worked because he's a winner. But, like, most of the guys that are arguing here, like, you can't really get mad at LeBron because LeBron wins, right?
LeBron will never win another championship the rest of his career.
He's got, how many has he got? 5? 4? 3 with the Heat, 1 with the, no, 5, dude.
He's got 5. He's got 5.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
the
I'm
same amount. It's the same amount as Kobe.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know right
That's
now.
like saying
he will not
Kobe
win
wouldn't
another
win
one.
in 2014. You're like, yeah, dude.
I get that. I'm just saying I hate the hype around LeBron. LeBron just panders.
I'm a hater too. I'm with you. It's
I'm
the
just sick
Embiid
of
shit that pisses me off. It's the guys that haven't won anything that think they deserve shit. That's what pisses me
Just
off.
retire now and go be on TNT and go right off in the sunset and take
TNT
Chuck's
loses that
spot.
deal. Yeah.
Whatever. Or the next show. with
Bronny's in the
Kenny
G
and the
League.
rest of them. Yay. Let's go to another G League game, Vince.
I'm down if we could see Bronny James put up 3 points.
I mean, if anything, it brings big money to the G League. Where's
Speaking
their
of
G
this,
League affiliate?
somewhere in California, I'm sure, right?
Gotta be.
I don't know. Um, Speaking of this league and why everybody loves it, do you want to pitch this one? Because you sent it to me here.
So Brandon Ingram hits a game-winning shot the other night. Who'd they play, Vince?
They played the Portland Trailblazers.
They played
He's
the
on the
Portland
Pelicans.
Trailblazers. It's a very interesting market to have a basketball team. And hits a game winner over not Anthony Simmons.
Simons.
Simons. Anthony
Yeah.
Simons. They forgot how to spell that in the
No,
waiting
isn't that
room
what
at the hospital.
isn't that what Penny Hardaway's name is?
I have no idea.
I think
Either
it is.
way,
Anthony Hardaway.
grammar and spelling wasn't on the docket the day of his birth, but I
Okay.
digress. An unnamed man says, okay, so let me back up the bus here. Brandon Ingram and Anthony Simons
Mm-hmm.
share the same baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you out there who don't know how kids get made, they
Yes.
both impregnated the same
If
lady.
you don't know how kids get made, turn this off. What are you fucking
turn this off
listening to this
immediately.
for?
Go outside and play.
What the fuck are you
But
doing? You can't
They
listen to this.
impregnated the same lady, and now they're playing against each other. And Brandon Ingram hits a game-winning shot in his face,
Yeah.
buzzer beater, boom, game ends.
Mm-hmm.
His teammate, unnamed man, comes out of the woodwork, and the cameras capture it, and he goes, "Yeah, man, show her who has it better."
Show her who better. Show her who better.
That's right. So
And that's why I love this league. That's why I can't get enough of it. You can hate it all you want, but
I
God
thought
damn
it
it,
was
this
funny.
is class.
Gave
It is
this guy a
hilarious.
chuckle. I'm still not going to tune in every night until the playoffs.
No, you
start.
can't. You can't. I can't either anymore.
'Cause who wants? Although the Bulls did make a huge comeback win against somebody, didn't they? I saw that. I like to watch it.
Yeah, it was against Milwaukee. It was against Milwaukee on Saturday or Friday night. It was awesome. They came back from like a 20-point deficit and won. Love games like that. So disenfranchised by Jerry Reinsdorf teams that I only followed it on my phone and didn't give a shit outside of it, unfortunately. And that's the life, baby.
Welcome to being a Chicago sports fan in 2024. All right.
Baseball? Guys, I know this sounds weird because it's not off the microphone, but this is Vince from the future. And, yeah, it looks like the Dodgers just won the World Series. So this whole section was recorded before that. Please enjoy. Baseball?
Yeah, let's talk about some World Series talk, shall we? So Vince, right now, series heating up a little bit.
It looks like it's going 6 right now.
3-1. Okay. Last night, the Yankees pulled out a huge home win, winning 10-4 in just an absolute offensive showcase. Anthony Volpe would like to just point him out.
Anthony Volpe?
Anthony Volpe, good Italian kid from Jersey, Yankee fan his whole life, living the American dream, playing for the Yankees in the World Series. It's a grand slam.
Yeah.
Okay. Not only that, 2 stolen bases. Kid is a freak. Love him. Now, with that, the Yankees have kind of given away 2 games on the road, which didn't help them, and then they lost the first game at home. So last night, this was a big win, and then as you did get this most recent update, it does look as if that the Yankees are on path to a good game. They have Garrett Cole on the mound tonight, but the real claim to fame here really is Freddie,
man.
That
was so beautiful. That was so beautiful.
May have been one of the best home runs in a World Series since Paul Konerko hit the World Series in Game 2 to basically ice the Astros.
Bias.
Now,
obviously,
Freddie Freeman, to paint the picture, tie game, what was the tie game? Top of the 9th?
10th.
Top of the 10th?
We were in
tie
near
game,
extra innings,
Top of the 10th, 2 runners on. They walk the bases loaded. So they walk Mookie Betts, and they bring in Nestor Cortez to face Shohei.
If I'm not mistaken, real quick though, if I'm not mistaken, they were down 1. The Yankees were winning by uno, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah.
This is correct. So it was not a tie game. They were trying to close this out.
Yeah.
2 outs, top of the 10th, or is bottom of the 10th at that stage of the game.
Yep. Yep.
And Freddie is right after Mookie. First pitch, grand slam, wins the game, walk off.
Yeah,
Absolutely
intentionally
electric.
walks Mookie, where Yankees fans were like, why would you put the winning run on second base? Because it was bases loaded, obviously. So there's a man on first, second, and third. Why would you put the winning run on second base? Agreed. Nestor Cortez, they put him in. He hasn't thrown in a long fucking time. Let's put that first. He's generally a starter. They throw him in the 10th inning. Aaron Boone, what the fuck are you doing is my first question. Freddie goes up there. I'm with my brother. We're at a Huggies for Chuggies party. Shout out to babies. I was like, dude, why are they putting in Nestor Cortez? And I was like, get the fuck over here. We have to watch this shit together. We're sitting there, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, lefty on lefty, I get that. It's Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman's a fucking contact guy. He's not even a power guy. You're not even worried about him hitting a home run at that point. And the ball hits the bat, Mike. And you're like, he just sent that to fucking Mars. And he hit that, and I was just like, I haven't watched baseball much this year. I've been so disenfranchised, so apathetic about the whole thing, and it just made me happy. I was like, this is great. And also, Atlanta, kind of wish you had Freddie still.
Yeah, they fucked up. They really fucked up. He's a great he's
Clutch
a great playoff hitter.
postseason guy. Matt Olson's been very good. Clutch postseason guy. He really is.
It's been impressive to watch, and good for him that they're competing at this level. It's just looking like this series may go the distance. I don't even know who's going to win at this point. The Yankees clearly are getting warm
Dodgers
at
are
the right
winning
time.
this. You
still
Mike, series doesn't start until you win away.
baseball gods.
Series doesn't
Baseball
start.
gods.
You've heard this before.
For some odd reason. Okay, I don't know why. I do feel like
I know
the
why,
gold-
because you want the Yankees to win. We talked
No,
about
I
that.
don't. I
Yeah,
can.
you did. We talked about it last week.
Just the per capita of Italians on the team. It is quite intriguing. Okay.
I know. This isn't baseball god shit. If you win at home every time, then the Dodgers win the series.
That's how winning's done.
No one's ever won away yet in the series. The series doesn't start until you win away. Dodgers can give up this game right now. They go back to LA. They win it that way. Oh, yeah. Actually, the Yankees fucking did lose at home. It's over. Unless they're the 2016.
Boston did it.
So do the Cubs. So do the Cubs.
Okay.
Don't see it happening.
done.
You think the only thing that the Yankees and the Cubs have in common is Anthony Rizzo. That's the only thing that's the same on these teams.
I found myself last night going, and my wife corrected me. She was like, holy shit, I never thought I'd heard that come out of your mouth. I was watching the game. I was like, all right, let's go Rizzo.
Cubs
I was like-
Mike.
I was like, wait a minute.
No, it is
Wait a minute.
so fun rooting for that guy.
She was like, I never thought I'd hear that word come out of your mouth. And then literally, my older brother, who doesn't watch the sport of baseball, but somehow has a kid and is now doing full-blown dad things and watching baseball, texts me literally after I said the sentence and goes, he said, only time I'll cheer for Rizzo is in a Yankees uniform.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, exactly, Richard.
I fucking despise the Yankees. I do. I think they suck. They're annoying. I don't like them. Most of the time with the Cubs, it's not the players. For instance, Kyle Schwarber. I like Kyle Schwarber. I like Kyle Schwarber a lot. Watching him on the Phillies is a fucking blast. Anthony Rizzo. I like him too. There's plenty of guys on that team that I like. When they're in the fucking Cubs blue, I'm like, fuck them.
You're dead
But
to
the
me.
minute
You're
they're
dead
out
to
of
me.
there, unless you're like Michael Barrett, who just sucker punched AJ Brzezinski, and I'll never forget it. Those are the guys. And also, like, interdivision. Like, Jose Ramirez, I always fucking hate him. He's a talented as fuck guy. I always hate him. It's not that the players suck. It's that we hate the Cubs.
So what's
You disagree?
what's the worst moment of this World Series in your opinion? Like, and I'm talking worse from a gameplay standpoint. Is it Shohei Ohtani's crybaby bitch move of, oh, my wrist?
Oh, shut the fuck
Or-
up, dude. Get out
or-
of here. You're such
or-
a Yankees fan. Why are you
Or-
such a Yankees fan, dude?
or-
You can't even
let
be
me
unbiased.
Let
Can't
me
even be
finish.
unbiased. Yeah.
Can I finish? Let me
Mhm.
finish.
Allow me to finish
Or-
real quick.
Is it Giancarlo Stanton rounding third base as if he's jogging across the street after a fucking red light?
They don't need him to run. They need him to
Dude,
hit bombs,
why
dude.
send him then? Why send him?
I
There's
agree.
2 outs. You're going to make the last out of the
I
fucking inning at
agree.
home?
They know,
when you're
and they've
down?
been saying this. He has Eloy Jimenez problems. He doesn't book it to first base. They
Then
told him to stop.
Don't send. No, they
I agree.
didn't. He was.
No, I'm saying they
he
told
was
him
waving.
to stop. They told him to stop chugging down the line. That's what they told him to stop doing. They shouldn't have sent him. I don't know why the fuck they did that. I'm with you.
Who decided that was the right idea to do?
think this
Coaching third
Yankees
base
staff-
eye on crack.
This coaching staff on the Yankees isn't the best.
Well, they're in the
Aaron
World
Boone's
Series.
better.
That's difficult to say.
I know, but still, Aaron Boone's a better player than he was a coach. And he's made a couple decisions at the beginning of
Vince-
this series that aren't
Vince,
great.
He's a manager of a World Series team and a playoff
He's
team.
a manager of
5
a
years in
losing
row.
World Series team. The Yankees have won one game in this World Series.
Well, they're
And
about to win.
before that, they're the Cowboys of the fucking MLB. They haven't won shit in the playoffs.
I understand that. I'm just saying I don't know what's worst. The Ohei Ohtani, oh my wrist, or lugging around third base when there's real shit to be done.
I
and then
think the coaching
slides.
staff decision is worth because Ohtani has an injury, is still playing through it. Are you not allowed to get
What did he
injured? Or you
injure?
don't?
What did
What
he
would you?
injure?
What would you prefer? His wrist?
Vince, if I was paid that salary, I don't care if I got shot in the
Yeah.
femur. I
Yeah.
would be out on the fucking field.
He is.
Okay?
He is. He's playing right now. What do you mean?
I don't like him.
You can't react to getting injured.
I don't like him, Vince. I don't like,
He's fucking playing right
I
now.
don't like him.
Mike.
I don't like him. Fuck him. He's dead to me. Okay?
Just because he likes to throw a couple 2-tree bets down, all of a sudden we gotta hate on Ohtani situation.
He's just as bad as Pete Rose. R.I.P. Pete
Oh
Rose.
man,
Watch.
rest in peace. to
Pete
the
Rose
king.
will get into the fucking Hall of Fame now because he's dead.
Yeah, for sure. It's the biggest bullshit that MLB ever does. They always do this shit.
Fuck
Um,
the Raiders. Hate the Raiders.
We'll keep you updated. We'll keep you updated as the game goes on here. That's our
keep
promise to
you
you.
updated as the game goes on. And as the game goes on for you in the way of life and attracting whoever you attract and what
Heyo.
you do,
Heyo.
don't be a fool. Wrap your tool.
It's funny you say that, Mike, because this portion of today's episode is brought to you by Caliber. Caliber is a condom sizing brand offering up to 6 sizes designed to fit for the best fit, comfort, and protection. Everyone is different, and that goes with the fella downstairs as well. Practicing
doing?
safe sexual health is important, but that doesn't mean settling on a condom that fits like the sweater your grandma bought you in 5th grade.
Here you go,
One size fits all is a thing of the past, rather. And the Caliber Find Your Size Sampler Pack lets you find your best fit with 2 condoms of all 6 sizes, ranging from small all the way to triple XL. So, get this. Our listeners get a free $25 gift card towards their next purchase when you go to caliberbrand.com/taxi squad and purchase a Find Your Size Sampler Pack. That's caliberbrand.com/taxi squad to fit every man with the right size condom. Before we get to the NFL, we have a message on Air It Out this week from a familiar friend. People that listen to this podcast, you may know him as the Oklahoma native, Norman Nate. So without further ado,
all right.
Mike, shall we?
He's back.
And as you know him, this ain't short, baby. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
What's up, boys? My hot take of the day, I'd like to air it out from Norman Nate, is college football is not just a better product in the NFL, but that it is, in very short order, going to outpace the NFL, and I believe the NFL is going to turn into the Arena Football League 5-10 years from now, with college football being the clear and dominant top tier, especially if you're speaking revenue-generating football products, if that's not already here, but pretty much marking the NFL irrelevant. What I got from that is the prophecy is soon to be fulfilled. They're already in talks. Multiple different businessmen trying to get a college football super league, with the top 72 teams being eligible for a 24-team college football playoff. Being that the prophecy that I've had for the last 5-10 years is about to come true, of one super conference with all the big boys playing against each other. Once that happens, it's pretty much going to be the NFL already, right? It's the NFL light right now. But once that comes true and we have that super league, it's going to be hard to debate that there's any difference whatsoever between college football and NFL.
Okay, I know where he is. This isn't done yet. I wanted to cut that off and just ask one question because this is the first reaction I have. What happens to everybody when they're done at school? They just don't play anymore?
No, they keep playing.
They go to the Arena Football League?
I don't know. Let them finish. Let them finish.
All right, let's
finish the thought.
Yeah.
The other part about it is, in every other sport, baseball, soccer, basketball, the stadiums get progressively bigger as you go along, right? As it should be, right? As you rank up and play tougher and tougher competition, and you're better and better at your craft, playing bigger and bigger venues. That is true in every sport except football. Football, there is 16 teams that match MetLife Stadium, which is the biggest stadium in the NFL by capacity currently, or better. 16 teams. That's fucking crazy, right? So it's 16 teams. That's half of the NFL, right? At 32, half of what is the NFL. They have bigger stadiums than that, and some substantially so, by about 30,000 seats bigger than MetLife Stadium. So the capacity is much bigger. The venues are much bigger. With the Super League, I think they're going to start getting to a point. Ultimately, I think I'm going to modify the prophecy a little bit. I think we might actually see to where they let alums play at college football. If it gets to the point where they're just stroking the NFL.
And it literally cut him off because we have a maximum of 3 minutes on our Air It Out.
Sorry, Nate. We'll get you on here soon.
I will truncate the rest of it. I have plenty of arguments to that. He says better tradition, which I agree with. It's longer. It's been around for longer. Night games at Kyle Field at A&M, okay. Death Valley, yes, agreed. State Fair of Texas, OU versus Texas, sure. Some would call that the Red River shootout. World's largest cocktail party. I could go on for 4.5 hours, is what he says. So, and also bands, student sections, all that. While I agree with him that it is different, and it probably is overall at location bigger. Yes.
Well, let's think about it. People are literally paying to go to this institution to get an
Right.
education to better themselves in their life and career.
Correct.
Now, what the value of that piece of paper is anymore as we start to progress into modern times, I don't really know.
It's up for argument for sure.
Rather than the fact that you completed something and did something consistently for 4 years. So good job. And you got to party your face off and usually have a good time, especially.
I didn't drink once in school.
I didn't go to school, but I drank. But with that, I understand his thought process. Now, will it ever supersede the lure of getting to the NFL in the next level? No. Just simply due to the fact that it is the NFL, and if that day would ever come, it would be a very hot day or cold day in hell.
Well, consider the most watched college football game and consider the most watched NFL football game. It's not an argument, unfortunately. I see what he's saying again. And then alums can come play for the teams. Like, player empowerment, man. If you have to play at Oklahoma or Notre Dame or USC for 20 years, like, none of them would.
Well, let's think about it. What's his name on Miami has been playing college football for a decade, and he's 27.
Yeah, and he's what, 20 years or 17 years younger than Tom Brady was when he retired in the NFL.
Understood. Right. So a lot of guys are even doing this as we speak. That playing
Yeah.
into their mid-20s in college football. Bo Nix
But
was
that's
25 when he got drafted. For
that's
Christ's sake.
also
So
lack of expectation. If he's going to be a top 1-2 round draft pick, he's going to the NFL right away because you get paid for it, which I get. But at the end of the day, all of the best players in college football go to the NFL.
correct.
So you're seeing the best possible football product in the NFL. I know what he's saying. I get it. The parity's a little bit different out there. There's different teams facing up. There's going to be a super conference, all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. It's a better product because it's less predictable. It's not a better product because they're more talented.
It's not necessarily about the talent. To your point, it's a lot less unpredictable watching college football sometimes. Now, as we are going to get into our takes this past week, nothing is a given.
True.
So we saw that firsthand.
Yeah.
Now, what is, in your thought process, the shelf life of these USFL, XFL sub-arc leagues where, we go to St. Louis and the Battlehawks and we interview Mr. Battlehawk,
Yeah.
who will not speak negatively about anybody.
Yeah.
For he
Positive
is the
ass
hawk.
man. Positive
He is
ass
the
man.
Battlecock Hawk
Yeah.
of St. Louis. So, what, in your thought process, how many more years does the XFL have before AJ McCarron's back in the press box?
We've seen it already. There was USFL, there was XFL. They came together, they smushed it together. It's not a money-making thing. It's similar to if you were going to do a minor league baseball team. They don't make a shit ton of money either. They make enough to go on, and they're also feeder teams into MLB teams. College football is obviously not that. You can't do that with the NFL because the best players are playing in the NFL, and there's 52 guys on a roster. So the 15th, 53, excuse me. So the 15th best cornerback is playing special teams on an NFL team. He's not going to the USFL or the XFL to play cornerback. He's going to be on kick return.
True.
Or a practice squad over those leagues where there's too many guys on a roster to even benefit from doing that.
That's true. I think the XFL maybe have 3 years left and then it's over.
Unless it becomes a subsidized league with the NFL, which I don't think it will.
I don't think it will. I don't think the NFL even wants to put the money into it.
No.
Now, when will the lingerie football league become NFL subsidized because women empowerment?
There's a lot of talk about is it still going on?
Vince, didn't you hear that
no.
the WNBA's championship parade was packed?
Oh yeah. Well, this is what I was gonna say too. It's talking about subsidized leagues. That was bad. Caitlin Clark is the fucking shit though. That's all I'm gonna say about that. She's awesome to watch. Wish she would have won it, because god damn it.
Man.
She brings the boom, dude. You know this.
All right, let's talk about the NFL.
Shall we? Thank you, Nate. I love you.
Thank you, Nathan.
Great.
We love you, brother.
You're wrong, but I love you. Yes.
I don't know if he's right or wrong. I see
he's
his
wrong.
head.
The NFL is not going to be the Arena Football League. It's just not going to happen.
The NFL is not going to be.
They make so much money, dude.
So, in that sense, let's talk about the NFL. So,
yep.
It is a very sad Bears corner.
Yeah, rip the Band-Aid off. We're just going to talk about it now. That's just how it's going to go.
So, unless you live under a rock, the Bears played the Commanders at home, not at home, away.
1 versus 2.
And this team really can't beat plus 500 teams on the road in the tenure of Matt Eberflus, and we'll talk about that. But lost in heartbreaking fashion after quite a game-ending drive by Caleb Williams, who got the ball back after the most boneheaded offensive playing call I've ever seen in my entire life about trying to give a offensive lineman a football.
Doug Kramer. I'm sorry for Doug Kramer, too. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, Doug Kramer, it's not your fault. It's your idiot fucking coach.
Yeah.
It really is. It's your idiot coaches that decided to give you a football while your hands are taped more than a mummy. Happy Halloween. And you, of course, can't control the rock as like a Roshan Johnson would or DeAndre Swift would.
Or any other running back on the 1 yard line on first down can fucking do.
Correct. So he fumbles the ball. We lose the ball on the 1. Bears stop. Get the ball back. And Caleb Williams leads a beautiful 50-yard drive to
And
get us in scoring range. We
and how do they
score
get the
point
ball into the
conversion.
end zone?
Running back, Roshan Johnson.
Oh, what a concept. Oh, cool.
Just the pure ego of this team is fascinating to me.
That's a
Drafting
play
a
you
punter,
do when you're up by 50. That's a play you do when you're up
drafting a
by 4
punter
touchdowns. No, stop. He was
down.
He was the reason that we almost won the game. He pinned the fucking Commanders in the within the 10. He was, for a fact. I was watching it. I can tell you that with confidence. You can't keep coming back to this. This was a coaching issue.
Ego.
No, it's not. What do they draft to make that game different? Who do they draft to make that game different?
Do you really want to get into this argument?
Yeah, in the 5th round, who do they draft? Or the 4th round, who do they draft? Yeah, who do they draft?
Okay. Let's talk about the pressures in this game.
No, who do they
shall we?
draft? Who do they draft?
An
What do we need?
offensive guard, tackle,
Examples, who?
someone who could start day
Who was
one.
available in the 4th round that could start day 1? That's
I
really
can't give
important for
you
this game.
a real name.
Please. There isn't
can't
any.
right
This is
now.
what I'm saying. There is not
No,
one.
there will
We
be.
picked up the guy from Yale that was playing for us because everybody got injured. He was a draft pick. He was fucking ass. He was the reason he got sacked a bunch of times. There isn't an example because Torrey Taylor was an important player in that game. This is what we've been saying the whole time. He is a good punter, and it was useful. You can't blame it on a 4th-round draft pick. You blame it on the offensive play calling. You blame it on Tyreek Stevenson being a fucking idiot and going up to the fans and gloating with them rather than defending the Hail Mary. Like, that's what I'm talking about. It's not one offensive lineman. It's play calling. And it's also having your team ready to go and not yelling at the fans.
Just saying, having more offensive lineman depth would be very nice.
One
right now.
rookie offensive lineman wouldn't have changed the outcome.
It potentially could have.
But Torrey Taylor
starting-
did change the outcome. He literally did. You can see it.
Well,
you can
you'll-
watch it happen.
So what fucking outcome is there other than a L in the loss column?
The
Let's talk
outcome
about
is that they gave the ball back to the Bears, and the Bears had the lead at the end of the game because they put him in such bad field position that they had to give the ball back to him.
Or the defense is very good. The defense is incredibly
Can be true. Both can be true. If they started at the 30, it's a different
I am-
conversation. They started at the
starting
8.
to learn. I'm starting to learn of the Eberflus era that there's a lot of really poor clock management.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really poor offensive play calling and offensive management.
Challenges,
Challenges, you name it.
timeouts.
Defensively,
Good.
he very sound as a coordinator. I give him credit. The defense is nails. Now, outside of that, I don't know what we're doing. The offensive play calling in the first half was absolutely horrendous. It slightly improved in the second half.
Brutal.
It's just really difficult to watch right now because after a game in London where you go out and look like you're making strides and then to have the regress game that was, and granted,
2
Dan Quinn,
weeks. 2 weeks.
we
had
could
a
make
bye
excuses.
week.
We
had a
can
bye
make
week.
excuses. You had 2 weeks to prepare for this team, which had backup defensive tackles in because they're very injured. Jonathan Allen's out. Yeah,
Yep.
DeAndre Payne's an absolute fucking dog. But that's really it. But they were pressuring Caleb every play.
Yeah.
And I don't understand on defense why we weren't blitzing Jaden Daniels more.
Why don't
He's
you rush
hurt.
5 in a Hail Mary situation?
And
Why wouldn't
why
you?
why are you having TJ Edwards there to spy the quarterback? Is he going to break a 60-yard run?
No, he's
I don't
way.
think so.
He might, but also TJ Edwards isn't going to stop him. TJ Edwards
So-
is way slower than him. What are we talking about? It's so
When I
dumb.
look at this game, I just look at poor coaching. I also look at the fact that maybe, just maybe, you had a really good head coach on the opposite side of the football team who had his players prepared.
I
Cliff
don't know.
Kingsbury was an offensive passing game coordinator
I think it's
at
more that.
USC for the past 2 years, and I think he knew how to get to Caleb. And I think he knew a game plan to install to make sure that defense knew what to take away. Now, did Caleb overcome that eventually? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I just can't understand the usage in this offense You have two really good tight ends. Seemingly, it was working there for a little bit. You don't use them really this game at all.
Yeah,
Cole
why use
had
Cole Kmet even though he was like the fucking MVP of the London game? Why not just forget about him completely? Good idea.
just forget about him completely. Now,
Did
DeAndre
they have
Swift.
enough time? Did they have enough time to prepare? I don't know. It was a really quick turnaround in London
So
2 fucking weeks ago. What are we doing?
the Bears on the
Ugh.
road, and this is where Mikey Data comes in. The Bears on the road during the
Data
Matt
Mike.
Eberflus tenure are 3-13. The Bears, when have lost now 5 games. We're going into the fourth quarter. There was a 90+% winning percentage on the board for them to win. Literally, the odds of that happening to any other team are 1 in a million.
Yeah.
Look it up. It's real. That's a
Oh,
real
yeah.
statistic.
No, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
So we are doing things historically that are unheard of. And then not only that, you beat the brakes off of really bad football teams, but you can't beat good ones.
Yeah. No, I mean 100%. And okay.
When is
Caveat-
enough enough? When is it
Caveat
done?
devil's
When is it
advocate.
done?
Caveat devil's advocate. I don't necessarily agree. Like, he should get the fuck out. We need to get him out. I get all of that. We were tanking for a bit of time. I will say that.
That time's over.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, when you look at the record from his full tenure, you're like, yeah, we were, like, literally trying to lose for a little bit of time. That I get. Here's 2 examples, and this has happened in different ways. The offensive play calling is brutal. They expect anybody that's going to get a job as an offense coordinator for this team expects that Eberflus might be out. So they're not going to take a job that they think they're going to get fired from in fucking a year and a half. That was the first thing. So they should have got rid of him last year, like we've been talking about. Second thing is, we had timeouts at the end of the game. Tyreek Stevenson is yelling at the fucking crowd. His job was to cover Noah Brown, who was in the back of the end zone, who caught the fucking ball. And Tyreek Stevenson reacted halfway through the play to go get in front of everybody instead of behind. Why in the fuck would you not see him do that and timeout? Call a timeout, redevelop, say, hey, motherfuckers, stop doing that. Reset it, go do it again. Why would you not rush 5 guys on a Hail Mary to freak Jaden out and make him throw the ball quicker, instead of letting him sit back there and readjust 7 times before he chucks it down fucking field?
Or just get your biggest bodies in as you can.
Yeah, Montez Sweat was on the sideline.
It's not even that. Put Cole Kmet back there to go
100%.
play center.
Hit the ball down.
They used to do it with Gronk all the time.
God, there's so many things that they could have done, and they didn't do it. And it literally, quite literally, is coaching. All of this is coaching. Like, I cannot stress that enough. The defense played so fucking nails. They were so good in the red zone. They stopped them from scoring touchdowns. The Bears didn't deserve to win that game, and they almost had it until the last play.
I guess the nice part of, for once, the offense isn't the reason you lose the game.
Yeah, but they were in the first half.
Well, yes, but Caleb did
fucking were.
prove he can lead a comeback win.
Despite all of this. That's
Despite
the thing.
all of the shit coaching, despite all of it.
Right.
Now, is the seat heating up for Eberflus in Chicago?
It's so hot, dude. It's so, you gotta, and that's the thing. We keep doing this. Why do we keep going new quarterback, new coach, new quarterback, new coach? Why wouldn't you do it both at the same time?
Rumor mill? You want to hear some rumors?
Ben Johnson, baby.
At the end of last season,
he wanted the job.
It was explained that he wasn't leaving unless it was Chicago.
I know.
And literally, the Commanders got on the plane to go interview him, and he called them
and said, no.
Said, I don't want it.
Yeah.
So he wants to be here. He wants Caleb.
Yeah.
At this stage of the game, the Lions look like they may win a Super Bowl.
They're
going to make a move for an edge rusher.
Yeah, Dan, you see Dan, we'll talk about it, but Dan Campbell getting all giddy in his press conference was awesome.
Yeah, but maybe not.
Maybe.
I love MCDC.
It's like someone being like, are you dating somebody? He's like, maybe. I think she's kind of
Maybe. It could be.
Yeah, for sure.
Silly. I don't know.
For sure they are.
If Ben Johnson wins the Super Bowl, there's no doubt about it. that he'll get a head coaching job. At that stage of the game, just get rid of the good haircut and the nice beard.
He's handsome.
Have a good
I'll give him
day.
that. Yeah.
Get some really good culture in here to groom a quarterback, get him going. And I do believe with the weapons we have, we are on a good pace. We have
That's
good
the thing.
defense on board
There's
already.
no other excuse. There's no other excuse. The team is fucking good. The offensive line kind of sucks. Figure that shit out. Defense is good. Weapons are at an abundance. DeAndre Swift's playing his dick off. That was a coaching loss. Straight up. No other way to say it.
Is Matt Eberflus the head coach for the Bears in 2025?
Fucking hope not.
What
But
if
I
we
can't
finish
predict the
10-7?
McCaskies because they're ding dong.
What if we finish 10-7?
Play it? Dude, what were the Bears when Lovie Smith got fired?
10-6.
Easy. Axe his ass. Because it's not the amount of wins, it's the quality of the wins or the quality of the losses. This is clearly a coaching issue. All the players did this stuff despite all of that. Tyreek Stevenson, you fucking idiot. Don't do that, obviously. But that is a culture that allows him to do shit like that.
What is next for this team? Do we play like a phoenix and rise up from the acids of a
I hated that, but I love that. I hated that, but I love that.
Or do we fall on our face and drop the next 3? Because after this game in Glendale, it is a gauntlet.
We win. Well, one more game after that. We got the Patriots, I think, right?
Yes.
If we want any hope of going to the playoffs, we have to win the next 2 games. There's no conversation about it. It's must win. You beat the Cardinals, who are frisky as fuck right now. They're not like the easiest team to beat, by all means. Marvin Harrison finally figured out how to play football again. Beat the Cardinals, beat the Patriots, split 2 of the 3 NFC North teams, and hopefully we go well, because we're also playing the 49ers, who are also eating up. Like, this is hard now. And you can't make decisions like that. You can't expect that the red zone defense is going to stop the 49ers 4 times and kick field goals, or the Vikings, who seem like they have some holes. But the Lions are the best team I think I might have ever watched in the history of fucking football right now. They're amazing. That's obviously hyperbole, but like,
they look very good. They're beating up on teams, and the culture they have there is great.
5-3. 5-3. Yankees up 2 now.
Okay. What inning?
5th inning. Top of the 5th.
Top
Dodgers
5.
Dodgers put up a 3 spot in top of the 5th.
We got a lot of baseball left to play.
Yeah, it's just you have to win the next 2, and then you have to split 2 of the 3 with the NFC North to even hope you got something. Because now you got 3 losses to play with, maybe to make it to the playoffs. 10 wins might get you there.
I'm just tired of the excuses. I'm tired of, well, that was the play. I'm tired of the, oh, yeah, we saw that. Dude, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of, like, watch it. If you're a Bears fan listening to this podcast, I encourage you, if you like to tear your hair out of your skull, go watch a Matt Eberflus press conference. They may be worse than Mark Trestman.
His post game, he said the end of the game goes as the end of the game goes, right? That's like truncated. Motherfucker, you didn't have to give up 20 yards on the play before to allow Jaden Daniels to get to the ball to the fucking end zone. We could have just maybe played sideline defense so we can't just Hail Mary it down to the end of the fucking end zone. Maybe if you just stop him a little bit more by playing sideline defense, then he won't have a chance to get there, and then they're doing hook and ladders all the way down the fucking field. This is what I'm saying. He's like, well, the game before or the play before doesn't matter. Like, yes, it does, because he has the arm strength to make it that far if the play before happens. But if it doesn't happen, then he can't do that.
It's a hell of a position.
He's a fucking idiot. I'm so mad. It's like I'm
tired of good haircut coach. I just want a good coach. I don't care.
I bottled it up. You and I were FaceTiming. Also
I was delayed.
Shout out Richie. I love Richie. He did send I won't apologize for a win text. And I was like, jinx of the fucking century. Shout out Richie. I love you. I hope you're listening.
Vince and I are FaceTime. I'm like, yo, you see this? Look, I know. There's no doubt it's gonna win. Vince and is ahead of me in the broadcast.
I was literally like,
and he's like,
on the clock. Still time on the clock, and then
no.
I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh my
No.
God.
You're like, they
Dude.
just lost. I'm like, what? I look up. I'm like,
It's Aaron
oh.
Rodgers all over again. It's Aaron Rodgers all
Oh.
over again, man. It's Aaron Rodgers all over
Don't
again.
even put that evil
We're
on me.
fucked.
All right, let's talk about our picks. How do we do, Vince? How'd I do?
Fuck, that puts me in such a bad mood. All right. All right. That was 3 days ago. I'm still fucking hot. You did worse than me this week, which is good. So that means
By how many? By how many?
I beat you by 1. I beat
Oh,
you
okay.
by 1, leaving me 2 games behind you for the season. I can't complain about this. You need to keep moving. I don't know why I took the Cowboys against the 49ers. I don't know why I
Yeah,
did.
what were you thinking? What were you thinking there?
I felt like the Cowboys have been getting so much bad media that they were going to have a crazy CD Dak game. And CD had a crazy game. I'll give him that. But,
Wasn't
it is what
wasn't
it
in a
is.
good way.
From the top here, kid,
From the top, make it drop.
with that wet ass
Picks.
P word. Wet ass. Who said that wet ass P word? Who was
Wet
that?
ass picks with these wet ass picks.
Some sports one said the wet ass P word and made me die. Vikings Vikings. Are they not who we thought they were, Mike?
I don't think they are, man. That was, granted, Cooper Kupp came back, had a great game.
Puka
When the
Nacua,
Rams have Cooper Kupp
brother.
and Puka Nacua,
He's
they look
good.
Yeah, he's very
He's
good.
good.
This game, come on, the egregious no call of Sam Darnold getting tackled down by the helmet.
And that's the storyline. That was a clear face mask. Clear. Things happen, obviously, in the fourth quarter. The Rams win by 10. But that face mask was the delineation between wins and losses. You have to call that. There was a ref right fucking there.
Yeah, it's kind of a hometown call, and it just, not a good look.
The only Rams
the
fan in the
scheme of
building
things now.
was the ref.
Yeah, right. It was pretty bad. And Sam Darnold had a good game. Didn't turn the ball over.
He wasn't bad.
240,
He really wasn't bad.
18 to 25. It's just, you know what? Know what the difference is in a game like that? When Justin Jefferson doesn't score,
Yep,
usually good things don't happen. So
it's true.
that is one where you look back and you just go, all right, well, let's continue to move forward. Okay.
Yeah.
Are the Packers not that good, or what's going on here?
This was weird, man. The Packers win by 3 at a late game heroic. You want to know who is really good, Mike? Josh fucking Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is so good. And I've been waiting for this game because I'm like, I know it's going to come. Like, he was so good on the Raiders with nothing. Packers have more weapons than that. They can do that. T-Law, pretty good game. He's going to make a boneheaded decision. He always does. ETN seemingly isn't the starting running back in Jacksonville anymore, I would say. Tank Bigsby's taken a way bigger role the last couple weeks. He's been very good for them. I think the main storyline of this game is Malik Willis. Because Jordan Love gets injured again, and Malik Willis comes in, and for some reason, he's a fucking Pro Bowl quarterback now.
He's not a pro that played the Jag.
I know, but every time he comes in, the last two games and 5 attempts in this game, he's fucking good, dude. He's played nails. He's been nails, dude.
What was his stat line?
4 for 5, 56, 4 rushes, averaging 6 yards a carry.
Okay, so that's what he does. That's what he's always done.
Yeah, but those other 2 games, he wins those games. The only games the Packers have lost is Jordan Love games.
Yeah, one.
I'm not saying he's better than Jordan Love. I know all this shit, but in Tennessee, it was like Malik Willis is a waste of time. He comes to the Packers, and then he's like a serviceable, good backup.
That's usually what happens with great coaching. See,
Ryan
that's the difference
Flynn.
with the France.
Ryan Flynn.
Oh, Flynn.
He's
Matt
back.
Flynn, actually.
Or Matt Flynn, sorry, yeah. I was just going with like waspy white names.
Remember,
Ryan,
Matt Flynn got to the Seahawks, and they were like, oh, he's going to be our starting quarterback, and he's this, and he's that. And then, boom, Russell Wilson, and then the rest is history.
Well, Matt Flynn got to the Seahawks and got a lot of money, too, and they were like, he's not that fucking good. This is a problem.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just the Packers. Like, oh, yeah, great coaching. Fascinating.
Yeah, and LaFleur's the man. I wish we had one like him, man.
Yep, one day, buddy. Okay, the Cardinals. We both thought we were right, but Tua just kind of wasn't his fault. He played a really good game.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think this is a Miami played bad. Miami's clearly better with Tua. Clearly better with Tua.
Look at the scoreboard.
The Cardinals are better than we thought they were. That's my biggest takeaway. Because Kyler played his ass off. Trey McBride's a really good player. Waiting for that. Like I said, Marvin Harrison kind of unlocks when we were talking about the Bears, and we're playing him next week. And James Conner's a bell cow. Everywhere he's been, all the time. If he's healthy, he's a bell cow.
In the month of cancer awareness, shout out to James Conner.
Yeah, man. Real.
James Conner, cancer survivor. Just absolute dog.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm afraid of them.
I'm not feeling the hottest about it right now. We got to really come in with a solid game plan, pissed off, play our best game. I'd like to call out the fact, though, that after a couple weeks ago with the Cardinals playing a really close game, what was it, Monday night? Who'd they play again? What was their last game?
I was bowling when this was happening.
When they played the Chargers.
Excuse me. Yeah, and they just squeaked one out too. Yeah.
Friend of the podcast, his little brother Dennis Gardeck tore both ligaments in his
man.
ACL. I don't know if anybody saw that.
Out
But
of
we're
respect
sending
and
thoughts
love,
and prayers.
Yeah, 100%. Out of respect and love, I immediately traded for him in Madden, and he's been dogging for me. So my dog,
exactly.
Get well soon, dude.
Hope you get well soon, brother. And our thoughts and prayers are with you. Now,
100%.
Moving on, Jets and Patriots.
Yo, what the fuck?
What's happening?
They're
universe
washed.
are we living
Aaron
in?
Rodgers, old. Defense, bad. Probably shouldn't have got rid of Salah because that didn't fucking matter. The Jets are washed ass. Done with them. Part of me feels like they're almost Bengals worthy, but we'll get to the Bengals in a second. The Jets are washed.
I can't believe since Devontae Adams has been on the Jets, and I bet it every week, that he hasn't scored a fucking touchdown.
It's fool's gold, man. Aaron Rodgers isn't as good as he used to be because he's old. He can't move around like he used to. He's old. Patriots suck. They still suck. Drake May got injured. Concussion, probably. Ramondre Stevenson, I sit him this week because he's been ass the last couple weeks. 2 touchdowns. Fucking off. Yep, stupid asshole. Kayshon Boutte can't catch the ball. It's like this. I watched this game. I'm like, this is so fucking dumb. I don't know what I'm watching right now. Everything was just going completely opposite of plan. The Jets are bad. They're 2-6. Like, people got to stop acting like they're going to do anything for the rest of the year. You can barely make the playoffs with 6 losses, let alone run the table for the rest of the year. No shot. You're done.
Yeah, I think stick a fork in them, and I think after this season, it's over for good old A-Rod.
Everybody. Just trade everybody now. There's no fucking way. Aaron Rodgers just looks slow, man.
Well, you have Garrett Wilson. That's about all you have.
And Devontae Adams.
Yeah, and now Devontae Adams. But, now it's just like that scene in Heavyweights where Tony Perkins is like looking in the mirror. What's going on, little Tony? Everything's falling apart, and I can't do anything about it. That's exactly this entire situation as we speak. Okay, Vince, I'm gonna let you take it.
After I say one thing, I want everybody to look at me. I'm gonna pass it to Corn after I say one thing. Let's go. That's a W. Let's eat one. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight? How many eat a W tonight? Come in.
How many people want to eat a W tonight? I do, man. Jameis fucking Winston, welcome back. I've been saying it for weeks, dude. Kevin Stefanski has gone through the ringer for the last 4 weeks of watching Deshaun Watson play football. Jameis Winston comes in, beats the hottest team in the AFC, on to the next one. He quotes Eminem after the game. He said, what was it, Lose Yourself, was he was quoting, or whatever the fuck that song was? Jameis Winston's a dog. He's back. 27 for 41, 334 and 3 tutties. He doesn't even turn the ball over anymore. Might be the greatest ever. Thank you for listening.
I don't know if he's the greatest ever, but I'm very happy for him.
He's not Tom
I'm
Brady?
incredibly happy. No, I'm incredibly happy for Jameis Winston, and I hope that he continues to do good things. And I hope that he can take this team in Cleveland to new heights because I believe they have a good squad. And with Nick Chubb back now, it's all on the table.
He direct to vein endorphin boosted that entire fucking team.
He's got a lot of energy, man. And
also,
he said it.
He played well. He's a spiritual leader on this team. Like, you could tell Deshaun Watson was sucking him like a sieve, like not in the better way than it was.
Yeah.
Stefanski didn't want to play him.
Pause.
He was getting
Pause.
forced to do pause for real. He was getting forced to play Deshaun Watson for weeks. Stefanski didn't want to do that either. We paid him a shit ton of money. Jameis Winston was always the clear person to play. And now that he's playing, like, yes, it's one game, but it's against the fucking Baltimore Ravens, who have had a stout defense and a great offense the last couple weeks, and they come out with the win. They're 2-6, and they beat the Ravens. And only one thing's different. Nick Chubb is back. He hasn't played great. One thing's different is the quarterback. He plays way better. What else is
their defense is really very good. And they have a lot of really good pieces. They're Denzel Ward. I mean,
Myles Garrett.
Garrett,
he came in doing whiteface. You see that?
Yeah, he was the Terminator. It was kick-ass. I love it. I think it's great.
I don't think you should do that. I think he was doing whiteface.
I think it's rude that he even thought about doing it because if other people do it in the opposite way, then it's really offensive. But if he did it, it's fine. That's not
he's
fine.
The fucking man.
I know.
he's the
fucking.
man.
I don't care. I'm not like, oh no.
Yeah.
No. Myles Garrett, absolute dog in that defense. I think this is a boost. I think they potentially win some more games due to Jameis.
I'd like to announce right now that the Cleveland Browns are close to being in the hunt. That's all I got to say.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. All right.
Jameis in the playoffs. Uh-oh.
Eagles.
Also, before that, Ravens lose one game. They say, fuck it, we need a receiver. Give us Deontay Johnson.
Oh, they got Deontay Johnson.
Yep.
Something to pay attention to for all you fantasy owners
sir.
out there.
Yes, sir. Yes,
now,
sir.
I will say this much. I mean, the Bears and the Ravens have the same record. Are they? Come on, right?
The Bears are in the NFC North.
Doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
The Baltimore Ravens are in the AFC North. It's a little bit different.
I'm saying they got the same record. 2 heartbreaking losses.
The Bears, the best team they played is
the Bears.
The Texans? The Ravens lost to the fucking Chiefs. Come on. I was trying to think. Let me think. Jesus.
The best team they've played is...
I'll tell you one thing. The best team they played is not the fucking Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, my God, man.
Woof, dude.
Vince is not contracting malaria. The Bengals lose at home decisively due to a million tush pushes.
Dude, Sirianni...
Like, it was just like, fuck it, just push him in.
He's safe. He's safer than he's been all year. I think Philadelphia's getting behind him a little bit right now. This was a masterclass game by the Eagles. This is what they needed.
Masterclass?
It was because they've been playing like shit.
Jalen Hurts, 3 rushing touchdowns.
Well, that's how they need to play the game. That's how they need to play.
Just rugby scrum.
100%.
Fuck it. He's pushed in. Just put some butts behind him and go.
He did a couple of those fucking Devonta's down there somewhere throws. He let Saquon eat. Like, that's how they have to play the game. Defense played well. Joe Burrow's been having a very good season, and nobody else on the Bengals has done anything for him this year.
What's the trajectory of the Bengals? I mean, do they come back next year? I mean, they got to re-sign Chase T. Higgins. I mean, like...
What are you supposed to... Their defense is so bad.
It's really bad.
And they have so many contracts they have to pay, and they already paid Burrow.
You got to get rid of T. Higgins. I think you got to trade him at the deadline.
Which is tragic because I think he's criminally underrated.
I would always trade for him in Madden. Nails.
Yeah, he's so good, man. He really is. It's just like, I don't know. They lost a couple pieces from the defense from the Super Bowl team. Defense can't make a stop to save their life. I don't think the defense coordinator is very good. I don't even know what his name is. You can't win it only by having 2 receivers and a quarterback. That's just a fact. Also, underrated thing that not a lot of people are talking about, Joe Mixon is not on the team anymore. It's a little bit different when Chase Brown and Zach Moss are splitting carries. So,
yeah. that's definitely true. No, running backs, though, damn it doesn't. So speaking of the team that does have him, Vince, almost lost to the Colts. So
Oh,
with that
boy.
being said, if their quarterback wanted to finish the game, maybe they
Mike.
would have won. But
Mike.
taking plays off?
Anthony Richardson?
Took a play, like tapped out, was like, I'm out.
Yeah, because he was just running the ball everywhere. If you're a quarterback in the NFL, you don't take a playoff. You just don't do it. I know that you're tired, all this stuff. Like, you don't take a
What a-
playoff if you're a quarterback. You just can't do it. I don't care how
Did
much
you
you're
see
running.
that they benched him for Flacco?
That's it. Flacco. Joe Flacco is playing
Something about
football this week,
Flacco I
buddy.
like. Something
And
about Flacco I like.
that makes the Colts better. It
I
does.
agree.
Anthony Richardson had 85 yards in the first half, 2 for 10. Like 2 for 10, 85 yards. He had
Cannot throw the football.
two cannon throws. He can chuck it downfield. We watched him in college. We had a podcast when he played in college. We watched him all year at Florida, and we're like, this guy's an athletic freak, and he can't do shit in the passing game. And then he comes to the NFL in a top 3 pick, right? And he can run the shit out of the ball. Can't throw it for shit. Like, what's what we've been watching for
Do you
years.
potentially look at Terrell prioring him and just say, fuck it, let's just make him a glorified running back and
Yeah,
call it a day?
kinda. I mean, like they aren't done with him. This story's not over for
Well,
sure.
you may just want to look at benching him for the rest of the season.
That's
sit
what
him
I'm
under
saying.
Flacco,
Because you
and
want to
just
know who's
see
a
what
good
you-
team. The Colts are a good team.
Offensive line is top 10.
Their
Easy.
defense is pretty good. They have
Yeah.
good weapons. JT's a good running back. Joe Flacco, being the quarterback of that team, wins that game against the Texans, in my humble opinion.
I agree.
Like,
don't disagree.
Anthony Richardson, he's the worst passer I think I've seen in like 10 years. And there's stats to back it up, and I don't have them. But like, no, I know. I'm not going to just lie to people and
There's
give them
stats
fake
to
stats.
back it up. I don't
There
have
are.
them, but
There are. Like, I think his QBR is like, I think it's worse than Jamarcus Russell's.
well, and to your point though, Joe Mixon though, 25 carries, 102 yards. I mean, looking
And
good, 'cause-
also recover fast, Stephon Diggs. He's out for the season, ACL.
oh, jeez, another one.
Yeah. Every time you see one of those non-contacts, like a guy's just running and then he just lets up, and you're like, that's not good. So shout out to
Yeah.
my fantasy team and shout out to Stephon Diggs. Contract here. He's probably not going to be a Texan next year. So keep that in
Probably
mind.
definitely not. And
That
he'll
sucks
go
when you're
somewhere
going for a
where-
Super Bowl. That sucks when you're going for a
Yeah.
Super Bowl and that happens.
It definitely does. It
Yeah.
definitely does. But Nico Collins coming back, I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah, he's got one more week, though. This week, it's all Tank Dell, baby.
It's fine.
Now, here's another team that their most healthy wide receiver got shot. So, shout out to the 49ers. Shout out to the Texans. All right, moving on. This game rocked. Titans, Lions.
I mean, why even talk about it? We get it.
no, hold on. Just because of
Spider
this, we can move
doozy
on
white
quickly.
banana man. Spider
Um,
doozy white banana man. It was ran during this game, man.
It was. It certainly was. The Gruden special. The game was tied 14-14. Jared Goff threw for 85 yards. 85 yards. Lions scored 52 points. 72-yard kick return. Punt return touchdown. I think he averaged like 36 yards on punt returns in this game. 150 yards on punt returns, excuse me. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries, 127, 1 touchdown. Watching this on Red Zone was a treat because it was one game back to the Lions running fucking
like-
full speed down the field, and then off to the other game, and then you're like punt return touchdown, like Scott Hansen screaming again. Tennessee Titans gave up. This is the give up game. They're done. Calvin Ridley may be getting traded after this, after Nuke did.
Yeah.
And the Lions, they're in conversation for best team in the NFL right now.
I think they're there.
I think they are too, but you can't say that until another team loses. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, another, and they just keep on winning. And then,
Somehow.
hey, Kirky Cuz, Kyle Pitts Day. How about that?
Brother, 23 for 29, 4 touchdowns, 276. Coming to their trap. He comes into their trap
Comes into their hood.
and then puts it down, dude. Kirky Cousins comes into their trap and puts it down. Kyle Pitts, welcome to the NFL.
Yeah.
He's
Where
finally
the
here.
fuck's that been for the past 5 years?
Also, shout out K. Dotton because K. Dotton, 81 2 touchdowns. That's about the only guy that Baker has to throw to.
And
You can only do
also
so
the
much.
brother-in-law of Donnie Marbett. Shout out to Donnie Marbett.
Correct. Also a friend of the show, Donnie Marbett. So
Shout out to
we love
show,
ourselves some
Donnie
K. Dotton. But yeah, what is Baker supposed to do? Shout out to the Falcons. They got sole lead of that division, and it's not even close. Baker, I'm sorry.
Mike
Good luck.
Evans comes back. There could be some talks here.
Nah,
So
he's
let's
cooked.
pump
They're
the
cooked.
brakes. I don't know if they're cooked.
Best quarterback
Not
in the league, Spencer Rattler.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Speaking of cooked. Remember
Saints
the
are totally
first 2 weeks?
Yeah, we're
Saints
like,
might
are
be
the Saints
good.
amazing? No, they're not.
Saints are leading the league in offensive yardage. They might be really good. They haven't won since. Justin Herbert looked pretty good on the Chargers this week. Lad McConkey.
Gotta love Lad. Gotta love
Pretty
Lad.
good, man.
Lad's pretty good, man. He's not a bad lad. What I loved about this game was the fact that there was a dirty hit on Justin Herbert in the offensive. I don't know if it was Joe Alt, but he went
No, it wasn't
after.
Joe Alt. It was another one of the guys, but he went after, got smacked, got a flag, gonna get fined. Who gives a fuck? That's Jim Harbaugh football, baby.
You don't do that. Justin Herbert makes enough money. He's going to pay the fine.
In Jim Harbaugh's system, the offensive lineman fights for his quarterback. In Matt Eberflus' system, a defender talks shit to the fans before the game's over, and then they lose it.
He likes football guys. Gotta love football guys.
That's the difference, bitches. Chargers beat the Saints. Moving on. I don't know why the fuck you picked the Seahawks in this game, Mike.
Because it was a home game. They were home dogs. They just won a big game against the Falcons. I was like, okay.
Them.
Yeah, they smoked them. Yeah,
the Bills fucked up the Seahawks.
I don't know what more to say.
Seahawks continue to be my most confusing team in the NFL. Maybe besides the Jets, but I kind of get that.
They play very well against really good teams.
Yeah. But not this really good team.
And not this really good team. I don't know what more.
The Cook brothers traded places.
Who?
Dalvin Cook can't run the ball for shit now, and James Cook is one of the best running backs in the league.
It goes to show you. Age is a thing of beauty.
And Amari Cooper, nice little lad. I know he didn't have the craziest game, but yeah. Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. It feels like everybody's kind of eaten because Amari Cooper demands respect from the defense. It allows other guys to get a little bit more open than they were before.
Nice call up, Vince.
Bills are scary. Watch out.
They look good.
Bills are scary.
They look good.
And no one else in that division wants to compete at all. So they're going to just cakewalk to the fucking playoffs.
Totally. Yeah, it's like when the Patriots were really good. It was just like, it's just.
Yeah, and then Rex Ryan's like, I got something to say about that. And you're like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, that for like 3 years.
Next game, Bears lost to the Commanders. Fuck you. Chiefs beat the Raiders.
Okay. Kelsey got a touchdown finally.
National Tight Ends Day. We haven't mentioned it yet. I sat him for Cole Kmet this week.
Rough decision, Cotton. Let's see how it worked out for him.
2, Ramondre Stevenson on my bench. Travis Kelce on my bench.
Man, you fudged the bucket on that
and
one.
I still won, baby. Let's go.
Hey, you got a stroke of genius there. Look at him.
Kareem Hunt, another one of those guys, old guys that come to the Chiefs and resurrect their career. So congrats to you, Kareem Hunt. Chiefs are never going to lose.
We'll see about that. Continue.
Moving on. Panthers Broncos. Bo Nix game, or was it the Panthers?
I personally think it was the Panthers.
Panthers. Yeah, they fucking suck. The Panthers are so bad. Bryce Young is bad. And the Broncos won. I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
Cowboys 49ers. This game is closer than it actually was, in my opinion.
The Cowboys are terrible. I think this is Dak's last season as a Cowboy.
He just got a massive contract.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Release him? No shot.
I don't know what this team's going to do. They're horrible.
Trey Lance?
No.
I know. What do they do? Like, they just gave him so much money. The biggest contract in the NFL. He's staying for years, man. And all things considered, bad interceptions early in the game. Dak Prescott didn't play the worst ever. It wasn't the worst game. What I see happening in my mind of minds is Zeke's not a good running back. Dalvin Cook is not a good running back anymore. CeeDee Lamb got targeted 17 times. The next guy got 8.
Do we think the Cowboys trade for Khalil Herbert? Do you think the Bears might be able to spin something for him?
I would love that. I believe that's a good idea from both sides, mostly because I'm a Bears fan. But you need to throw the ball to somebody else so you're not so goddamn predictable. 17 targets to 8 targets to 4 and then everything less. 8 was to the tight end, by the way. It's tight end, CeeDee Lamb, nothing else.
They're outcoached. They're gonna fire. They're gonna try. You know what I could see is the most Cowboy shit ever. Are you ready? Are you sitting
Yep.
down?
Belichick.
No.
Oh.
No. Prime. They lose out and they suck and they draft Shador and bring Prime.
And they
with them.
hired
And
Deion Sanders?
former Cowboy. I'm telling you, it's the most Jerry Jones shit of all time. It doesn't have to make sense.
Nobody is more like Jason Garrett and Mike McCarthy than Deion Sanders.
Just saying. If
I don't
it
know
happens,
about all that. I don't know about all
crazier
that.
shits happen. Hey, it could happen. Angels in the outfield.
You think
What
that's
else
going to
could
work?
happen? Either that or they bring back a familiar name. And I don't think Belichick is the one that fixes their issues.
I think if he's going anywhere, he's going there, in my opinion, because they're a team. They're a team
that also
waiting to
makes
win.
sense in the obvious sense, but I also think Jerry Jones, we need to get some new fresh blood in here, and I need to measure his PP. And
Yeah. Does he know how big Dak Prescott's penis is my question.
you know who may? Okay, let's move on.
Yep.
Caleb.
I don't even know what
Thank
you're
you.
going to say there. I'm not even going to ask.
Caleb.
Russell Wilson, good at football again.
He's good at football.
Mike Tomlin, for what it's worth, made the right decision.
He did. Justin needs more time to bake. I don't think Justin's ever going to play.
Yeah, once he's 38,
starting.
he's going to be good at quarterback.
He's really going to develop once he's 40, I tell you. You know, it's like, all right, can we just call a spade a spade?
Yeah.
He's not very good at starting in the NFL.
You kind of got to Terrell Pryor him.
He's a one-trick pony. I think now you just got to put him in gadgets and pay attention.
Now, I do say all of that to say that the closest team to the Panthers is the New York Giants. They're pretty fucking bad, man.
It's like the Jets, the Giants, the Panthers. Maybe the Jags are in there somewhere.
The Raiders are pretty bad too.
Yeah, the Raiders are bad, but hey, the Broncos could potentially be good.
Hey, Mike, what's the Broncos' record without looking?
4-4, 4-5.
Denver Broncos are 5-3. Denver Broncos, given a nicer schedule, I saw that the other day and I said, "What the fuck?"
See, Sean Payton.
No,
man.
easy wins, hard wins against easy teams is what it is. If you look at their schedule, it starts making sense. But like, how are they 5? How are they 5?
Oh, Knicks, baby, it's bow season. All right, let's move into the Halloween week, shall we? Happy Halloween,
all right, Mike. It is your turn, buddy. It is your turn to call the games here. I will follow you. You drive that bus, bud.
All right. In week 8 of the NFL, we have picks. Happy Halloween. So this will span from October 31st and then November 2nd. Ooh, Vince, hit a button. Give me a button. Any button of Halloween.
Oh, Jesus. I don't have it anymore.
Give me a button. Halloween spookiness.
Hold on, dude.
Halloween spookiness before we start.
I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out.
And a 2 and a 3. All right. With the first pick of this week's pick, we got Vince, Texans at Jets. Who you taking on a Thursday night game?
Texans, Jets suck, even if they're at MetLife.
Mike will also take the Texans. Okay, and then we have an even better game coming up following this. To kick off lovely Sunday, we got the Saints and Panthers.
Bring back the fart soundboard. The only team that's worse than the Saints is the Panthers, so give me the Saints.
Yeah, I'll take the Saints as well.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, give me the Saints.
Ooh. Okay. I was like, where are we going with this?
All right, moving to the Meadowlands. Can the Giants pull one out? Commies, go to the Giants.
There's a piece of me that feels like Commanders win in dramatic fashion against the team that's like rival here, where like maybe Dayball pulls one out. Fuck it. I'm taking the Giants.
Oh,
give it to me. I feel like this is a trap game.
Give me the Commanders. Give me the under.
Yeah.
All right, now we move to lovely Buffalo land, where they break
Bills.
tables and cook pizzas in cabinets.
Don't even
The
eat it.
Dolphins
Bills.
go to Buffalo. Okay.
Bills. Easy.
Yeah, give me the
You
Bills.
too? Yeah.
Taking the Bills. All right. The Chargers travel to Cleveland to play the now Jameis-led Browns.
Should I play it
Vince,
again?
who do you got?
Should I play it again?
No. We don't need
I'm
to
not
eat
going
more
to play it
W's.
again. I'm taking the fucking Browns, dude. Jameis
Wow.
Winston's the
Old
man.
strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him. Mike will
Dog.
take the Chargers. Give me the
Dog.
Chargers.
Who's the better quarterback? Some people, I don't know. It's up for debate. Some would say.
It's Justin Herbert. Yeah. No, this game is another game that I believe will be defensive, taking the under.
Yeah.
And I do like the Chargers. All right. Now, Patriots go to the Titans, potentially without Drake May. They are Mayless. They are now going to good old Nashville, where potentially the White Sox might play one day. Vince, who you taking?
Pass?
Huh?
Patriots Titans? Can I just find the nearest
you gotta
cliff
pick
and
one.
run
You gotta
off of
pick
it?
one. You gotta fucking pick one.
Patriots want to lose. Titans, I don't know. Titans. Give me the Titans. I
Titans
don't
want to
fucking
lose
know.
too.
I know. I don't
want a
know.
quarterback.
This is
They want Quinn
disgusting.
Ewers.
This is
I want
horrendous.
Shedeur Sanders.
Will Levis not it? Who do you want?
I'm going to take the Pats.
'Kay.
Because the Pats.
Ugh. What a gross game. Let's promise to not watch that at all.
No, not watching that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the Raiders travel to the place where Vince could, in fact, contract malaria. Good old Cincinnati. Raiders being terrible. Vince, what do you got?
I'm taking the Bengalis.
Yeah, give me the Bengals as well. And then just breezed over this one. The Cowboys,
Yep.
who are playing like absolute horse shit, go to Atlanta to play Kirky Cuz and all his swagger. Who do you got in this one, Vince?
Give me the
Falcons.
Cowboys.
You know what? I'll
They're
roll
gonna
with that.
win
But
one.
give me the
Oh!
fucking Cowboys.
Welcome to
because
the
Kirk
team.
Cousins off of a big win usually shits the bed.
Yep.
All right, now we go over to lovely Maryland, where the Ravens play the Broncos. As we just stated, the Broncos are 5-3. Vince, who do you got?
They just lost to the Browns. You got to take the Ravens.
Yeah, give me the Ravens as well. And here we go. Last but not very least, we
This
do
isn't last.
have-
There's so
I know.
many.
I just want to
There's
keep
so
you
many
there
left.
with us.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
The
yeah.
Cardinals play the Bears
The Bears.
in good old Glendale, where Mike and Vince will be jumping around, talking to people, getting the view of the fan, aka you. Vince, who you taking?
Arizona, Chicago West. This is a home game. Give me the Bears.
I will also take the Bears no matter how many times they hurt me. I still roll
Yep.
with them because I am a fucking fan. And
Never
if
gonna
you've been
disagree
here that
here.
long, you already know the drill.
Yep.
All right. Now the Jaguar go play the Philadelphia Eagles.
At the
Close
link?
game against the Pack. What are your thoughts on this game, Vince? Who are you taking?
They're at the link, brother. I'm taking the Eagles here. Big Dom's bringing
Give
it
me
at
the
Dom.
Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't know why I went Bears there, but all right.
It's fine. It's fine.
And then now, Puka Nacua back. Cooper Kupp back. Now they go on the road to play the Seahawks after a tough home loss in Seattle against the Buffalo Bills. Vince, who do you got? Seattle. or
Seahawks not
Jets?
dropping 2 in a row. The Rams too high on their britches. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, give me the Rams.
Okay. I can see it going either way. This is kind of my pick one game, you know.
Yep. And finally, not finally, but close.
There's
A
3 more.
division matchup. A division matchup. Finally, a division matchup, meaning we
Yeah.
have the Lions at the Packers. Lions playing great football, potentially the best team in all of the league at this stage of the game. Vince, who you taking?
I fucking hate the Packers, and for that reason,
I
I'm taking the
fucking hate 'em too.
Lions.
Yeah, give me the Lions.
Yeah.
And then now we have a Flacco-led
Flacco?
Colts going into Minnesota. Vince, who do you got?
The Vikings got to get a win. They've lost 2 in a row. I got to take the Vikings, right?
Yeah, give me the Vikings. I can't bet against Sam D.
Yeah. And finally,
And last but not least, and finally, truly this time, we have the Bucks going to KC to play the Chiefs. Vince, who do you got?
I don't want to lose you now. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs. Same?
I'm taking the Chiefs. This is what
It's like you, my mirror. Okay.
Oh,
There's the picks.
all right. It was a tremendous podcast.
Yes, it was.
It was a very good time to be here. Vince, you're going to be here in not even 24 hours. I can't tell you how fucking ecstatic
I'm
I am
so
for this.
excited.
We're going to be jumping around.
I'm so excited to get spooky with you, Michael. We're in
I
the
don't know how to
grave.
feel about this.
We're in the graveyard. Do you want the
If Vince
graveyard, or
wakes
are
up
you trying to
just
get
standing in my living room while it's dark out, I don't know what to make of it.
you like that ambiance behind this to end the podcast?
Yeah. It sounds like one of those things you'd buy a Sharper Image back in
Yeah.
the day, like the CD, like the rain sounds, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's
all
a
right, now I'm
sleep.
gonna
It's
go
a
to
sleep track on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Exactly.
in its sewer. All right, go ahead.
Either way, we thank you for being with us once again. We're going to have a ton of content to give you after this great weekend where the boys will, in fact, be together in the desert and the weather looks to be fantastic and the Bears are here. It's going to be a hell of a time. If you haven't
Bears.
followed yet, please do so. If you haven't shared it yet, please do so. And you know who you should share it to is either your brother or your sister from another mister or your brother from another mother, because this is the year of the siblings. And as always, we'll see you next week.
Talking Tales with Mike and Vince. Oh, you know. Jazzy beats while we dispense. Yeah, you know.